And we have all the men on this particular from rink 1 to 4. And the ladies off to the left-hand side where the umbrella is, behind the brolly. They're up on the top green. And we have a runner who will be up and down the stairs and hopefully giving us updated scores on the ladies' match as often as we can during the course of the afternoon play. Another nice bowl there from Craig. And I'm not too sure who might be holding shot here because Robert Capelli, his first bowl was beautifully weighted and he's ended up jack iron. I wouldn't mind betting that that's a shot. And this one he's just drifted a little bit wider, but he's got beautiful weight again. So the boys have dropped into the program pretty well here, and welcome Fraser Maguire. Fraser's a very regular viewer of our live streaming, and this can go all over the world depending on how adventurous you might get and how adventurous the receivers might get. Diesel Deanne Robertson, welcome again, Diesel. Warren Downey, looking forward to some good bowling. Well, we all are, Warren, and you get to this level of competition in any state. Well, here's a good shot coming in here. You get to this level of competition that you expect to see very good bowls from everybody, and such has been the case with the first 2 days. Colin Bray says, hello, Gaz, you're backing a winner. Well, I haven't had a bet for a few days, mate, but I'm so interested in providing this information, this coverage to you. Well, there's another, oh, gee whiz, there's going to be some cracking shots played here, don't worry. I think I'm not sure if I may have mentioned, but both of these teams lost their first game, but like I said, they're by no means out of the contention for overall glory. Here's another great shot coming in. Oh, mate, this is going to be spooky if they keep this up. That's another wonderful shot there played by, where are we? Is that John or Craig? No, that's John Martin from Gracemere. I'll give you the final results of the first round as time permits. It'll probably be in between ends, and I'll include the ladies in that naturally. A lovely bowl there again from Roberto, but he's just drifted to the side. Now, it's not that easy to tell who might be shot. We've got well, there's a bowl jack eye and that white bowl behind, so it's not easy to tell. It wasn't Roberto anyway. It was Darren Stanley. This is Craig Hall from Gracemere, completing about to deliver his third bowl. The greens are running somewhere around 15 and a half, guys and girls, and they tell me that the pace of the green on the upstairs green, if you call it that, oh, there's another great shot. Now, what's happened here? The leads are dancing around, having a bit of a Bo Peep here. We're not too sure who might have the shot, but I don't think it's, whatever it is, it's only one each way. All right. So that, I mean, when you look at that, they've just come up the green upstairs, which we understand is running a second quicker than this one. And they've all come down after a beautiful lunch and a nice cold drink, and he's got a nice little touch on that. And they've all played what we would consider a pretty damn good first end, haven't they? On a pace of green that's just a wee bit slower. Okay, so we have Craig now playing his final bowl. He's probably holding one, I suspect, and he's trying to just set the white one, which is just a touch behind the jack, and by crikey, he's not too far away, and that's a lovely shot. Yes, indeed. I don't know if it makes another one. I haven't indicated, but he got the bowl he needed. And Roberto having his final bowl here. He's played three pretty decent, and if he gets past this orange one, which I don't know that he will, Okay, so at the completion of the first end, Gracemere are claiming 2. So that's John Martin and Craig Hall. And after the first end, they're leading 2-0. Now, while I've got some opportunities, I'll give you the scores of the first round. Warren Claydon and Kerry Ollett from Marion defeated John Fisher and Dave Williams from Nanango, 21-15. We had John Newell and Jason Moore from Hamilton defeated Jason Walford and Mitch. Now they got Steins here, but that's not right. Mitchell Styles. Yeah, I knew that wasn't right. That's Mitchell Styles. And John Newell and Jason Moore won that 22-10. That's in Section 1. Now, Section 2, as we just watch, we're watching John Martin come down with his first bowl. In Section 2, we had Nathan Rice and Andrew Howie from Helensvale, and they defeated John Martin and Craig Hall from Gracemere, which is the team we have here in picture at the moment. And in the other game, Darren Stanley... Oh, no, hang on, no, that's okay. Chris Forbes and Jai Singh, local Toowoomba boys, beat Darren Stanley and Robert Capelli 22-16. Now, that's the 2 defeated teams there that we're watching at the moment. Okay, so the first 3 bowls have been played, and Darren, I think, has got the white bowls, hasn't he? Yes, indeed he has. And Darren is holding the shot there with that white bowl, jack eye left, and he's got a pretty decent shot here again, and he just might slip underneath, but his weight's been first class. Okay, so the Summit boys are holding 1 shot from what I can see. Now, in the ladies, just bear with me for a moment. We'll get through the results of the first round. Now, Yolanta Ackroyd and Annie Studd from Bribey Island, they defeated Julie Ezzy and Liz Parry from Salisbury, 26-17. And then we had Lorraine Hofstadter and Wendy Campbell from Elliot Heads, and that's the game we televised for you this morning. Beat Margaret, they're from Elliot Heads, beat Margaret McAdams and Barbara McDonald from Toowoomba, 22-17. And that was in Section 1. Nice shot there from Craig Hall, Gracemere skip. He's just come underneath the head a little bit, and Roberto's out on the forehand, and he's having a bit of a look at this, but I think he might be a little bit short of weight. And in Division 2 of the ladies, Debbie Logan and Glenys Reid from Mount Cravat, they defeated Carol Broadbent and Ruth Perry from Kandanga, 22-16. And the final game in the ladies' first round section was Sue McCall and Rhonda Meng from South Suburban in Mackay. They defeated Jean Messina and Denise Charman from Silkwood, 21-15. So none of the winners and none of the losers, folks, are guaranteed of anything at this stage. So having lost your first game, it's not something you'd want to think about, but the bottom line is that nobody's in or out. You've got an opportunity to redeem yourself in the second game. Depending what happens in other matches, your chances are still very much alive. So keep sharing the views, folks, and we'll be more than happy if you do. I'll just get back to this match again, and the Gracemere lead, Johnny Martin. He's once again, he's got reasonable weight, but he's coming underneath the head there. I'm not entirely sure who's got the shot. I consider it might be. It could well be the Summit boys with the white bowl left of Jack High, and Darren Stanley is coming down again, and this looks pretty decent sort of a shot if I'm any judge. And he's bounced off that and got the jack and trailed it across to his own bowl, so that's a wonderful shot, and that without any doubt would give them 2 to the boys from the Summit Club and the Southern Downs. Now, John Martin is playing his final bowl, and he doesn't want to get wrecked on that, which unfortunately did. But he still hung around the head there. And here comes John, I think. He's run across underneath there, but he's not that far away, is he? That was Darren from the Summit, I think. Okay, well, let's get these players sorted out. It'll be a much better situation. And we have, as soon as our dear lady gets mic'd up, so here comes the Gracemere skipper, Craig Hall. He's got a decent line on this, and we're just going to... He's played it pretty well. I'll be lands on that. Oh, and he's done it too.
Great bowl.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, Gary.
Good afternoon, Chrissy Pavlov, and welcome back to the microphone. Your dulcet tones are always welcome.
My pleasure, Gary.
Yeah, there's an instant replay, and that's...
Look, I'm loving these instant replays.
Well,
They're
that's
fantastic.
that's a facet of the live streaming that I think Robbie's perfected.
Oh. He was in the area with that bowl.
He sure was. Okay, so it looks to me as though Gracemere could be holding certainly one, isn't it?
Yes.
So Craig's just run a bit through with that one. So
Not quite handy there at the
oh,
back.
absolutely. Anything behind is going to be very handy, because you can bet your boots that Robert's not going to be short.
Certainly not.
Yeah, well, he's got the right weight to do something. How's his line, Strokes?
He's got to hold up, and I think he's
Just going to
hanging
miss that. He got to
under.
click off the
Yeah.
white one. He would have got something, wouldn't he?
Absolutely.
Okay, so they're claiming 2 shots, the Gracemere boys, and Gracemere, Johnny Martin, and Craig Hall. So that gives them a 4 donut lead, but it's only after 2 ends. A long, long way to go.
21 ends in this game. They play the game all the way through.
We've already given the scores from this morning, so the folks viewing will have some idea as to what the table might be situated. But it's only after 1 game, so it's pretty hard to calculate.
Yeah, there's 2 sections of 4 teams in each section, and as we mentioned in the earlier broadcast, the winners of the section go through to the gold medal playoff, and second in each section go to the bronze medal playoff.
That's correct, and that'll be, I understand, somewhere around 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, won't it?
Yes, definitely.
Good afternoon, Jules. Julie Allen's watching, keeping an eye on Robbie. Colin Hayes is back with us. Cameron Cooney, hi to you, Cam. And Peter Tappenden, he's a regular viewer. Go John and Craig. Well, yes, indeed. Peter, they've started off pretty well, haven't they? Have grabbed the first two ends, but a long way to go, as we say.
Yes.
So John has
Just going.
he's just left it jack high. It was pretty hard to say.
Looks
who's
as though
shot there.
Darren's still holding shot there.
I would think so, and I would reckon he might be looking at two if he's down pretty much similar. Oh, what's Robbie done there? He's got him too. He slapped his two hands together and killed a fly.
He did.
I've been trying that for 100 years and never got it.
Gave us a fright.
Oh, my goodness. Okay. Not sure if there's any indication of who's got shot there, folks, but it's very, very close. It's either one either way. We've got some prestigious winners of this event, you know, in the previous years. I won't give them all to you at once, but the very first one that we can go back to, according to records from Bowls Queensland, even Bowls Australia, the winners in 2001 were Peter Craven and Chris Layfeld, representing at those stages the Kingscliff Club.
Yes, in those days Kingscliff was actually
Part of the Gold Coast, wasn't it?
Part of the Gold Coast and
It was.
affiliated with Bowls Queensland.
I'm not sure what happened to Peter Craven. I haven't seen or heard from him, whether he's still around or not. But certainly Chris Layfeld is still causing a few headaches amongst his opponents, isn't he?
He
Chris
certainly
is still
is.
around.
And Craig is put in, just sliding off
Yeah,
to
he
one
just
side
slipped off
there.
it, didn't he? Yeah.
Don't think it's made a difference.
So Roberto's... He's got a nice delivery, Roberto, isn't he? He's very fluid. And he looks pretty well down there, if I'm any judge.
Yeah, just depends on his weight coming in.
You can't go the early crow too often, can you?
You can't,
It's
no.
commentator's curse, they tell me. I've never heard such a thing.
Look, from here it looks as though he's drawn another shot.
Well, if you're actually able to have a look at the situation live on the green, I think you'll find he's not.
It's so different.
It is.
What we see on the
Totally,
screen
exactly.
here.
And that's why, folks, we've mentioned it before. You're seeing exactly what we see. And you can fall for the mug trick by trying to tip who's got shot and you'll be miles out.
Oh, very good shot by Craig. Again, it's a bit hard for us to call that. We rely on the players to
Well, we do, and
indicate.
sometimes they indicate and you can't see their fingers, and that even makes it more stressful, doesn't it? Here he is, Jimmy C. The winners of this event, folks, in 2002, no stranger to be Nathan Rice and Robbie Thompson, and that was in the days when they were both at South Tweed. Now, surprise, surprise, the man himself, Nathan Rice, is back again. He's on the adjacent rink, and from what I can see, he just played a bomb. There's nothing.
Yeah, look, I think he had to. They're currently 5-0 down to the team from Toowoomba.
Okay. They won't just put the names on the scoreboard. They didn't have them up before. We will, of course, people give you updates on all the other rinks, both on this green and upstairs with the ladies, as often as we can. In order to get the men's, we can usually scan around the scoreboards, as Robbie, with his brilliant technology, has got that camera situated.
John Martin's just put in a very good bowl there, looking very close for shot.
Okay.
Darren Stanley on the mat now.
Yeah, Darren's got the white bowls, hasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
How's he looking, Chrissy?
Oh, I think he looks a little wide of the head there.
It's a little rub
Played
up
with
that.
very nice weight.
He did. Now, what's John up to here? He's going to... Here he comes, and he might be hanging out there a bit as well, is he?
Yeah.
Right.
Darren's gone out wide again.
He has. Once again, he's like the sort of shot he's trying to play. His weight's not too bad.
Beautiful weight. Yes.
Yeah, he just needs to come in and land on that Jacko bowl to the left, which I think is the shot. So Craig Hall will be looking to do something here. And I think it's Craig's bowl. That's the shot, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
How was your lunch?
Oh, amazing. I mean, the people here in the kitchen, they're all volunteers.
Yeah.
We have about 5 choices for lunch.
Did you?
Absolutely amazing. Beautiful food.
Oh, there's a good shot
yes,
from
he's come
Craig.
in
And
for shot.
well, that's another one, isn't it?
Or has he come in for shot? Oh.
They said to me, Gary, I said, what do you got? And they said, well, I've got steak burgers, or steak burgers. Gary, what do you have? I said, well, just one.
Oh, they had beef stir fry.
Yeah, I didn't try any of that.
Lasagna.
Right, so Robert now is starting to look as though he's going to have a swing at this, is he?
Yes, he wants to move it over the head.
Well,
he's
coming
going
down all right. He might not
wide
just gotten off back with the weight.
It's
Bounce off that, he's a chance. Oh, wow, that's made it interesting, Chrissy.
Absolutely.
Yes, I think they're claiming shot there.
Darren's put his finger
put it,
up.
yeah, he's gone for it. He's declared it. He said, I'm having that. Peter Tappenden said, I saw them win the zone playoff as I'm the Port Curtis Games Director. Well, good on you, Peter. I knew you had to be somebody important. I keep dropping in. Now, what's going to happen there, Chrissy?
Coming in.
Oh, he's
lucky with
that.
Wacko
He was
right
through
in
the
the
bloody
area.
gap. Of course he was. Now, the Summit boys appear to have one shot with the bowl behind the jack there. And here we go again with Roberto.
Okay, he's gone wide.
Oh, he's out with the chooks.
Absolutely, he just wants to have that one on the scoreboard.
Yeah, he will have enough of that. He played a damn good shot, didn't he, to get it?
He did.
So there's no point. Well, he'll get on the board there 4-1. That's fine. So all the best to Gracemere, says Cameron Cooney. He's cheering on the Gracemere boys. Well, they've started off all right, mate. So just dropping one there, but that's no big deal. Okay, got it. Right, you are. So where are we, Chrissy? We got the Summit boy. We got Darren leading off in 4.
Yeah, he's elected to play the hand that's actually drawing a little better for them.
Yep.
It's probably a better hand to be drawing on.
That's a pretty decent start, isn't it? It's
Good
always
start.
something behind's always going to be pretty handy, isn't it? And Johnny Martin is following down there. He appears to have a narrower line. And he's dropped a bit short too. So this is one of those camera angle views that we can't be sure who might have the shot here. So Chrissy's got up and had a bow peep out through the window. What's your verdict?
I can't tell.
My bet is the white bowl behind.
I think so.
Yeah. But I don't think it's the back white bowl anymore. It's the one that Darren's just gone plonk.
Lovely bowl, Darren.
So that's decidedly the shot. In fact, I'm suggesting it might be 2. But I can bet your boots Johnny Martin's going to have something to say about this.
He's not going to be short.
No, he's not. And he's got pretty good grass too, isn't he?
That is a very good
That's
reply.
a wonderful shot. Now, surely that's only 1 now.
Oh, he's put that bowl in a lovely position for his skip. His
He
skipper will be
has.
happy with that.
So in case you don't know who's behind the microphones here, my name's Gary Thomas, and I'm sitting here with the illustrious Christina Pavlov, and we're both, and funnily enough, the bloke who's in charge of everything technological, he's Robbie Allen. We're all Broadbeach members.
Well, we are, aren't we?
Has this ever happened before, Robbie? Probably no. It might not
don't
ever
think
happen
so.
again. We'll behave ourselves.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Rob's just
So here's
trying.
Rob. He's just dropped it a bit short there.
He's probably fairly happy with that.
Yeah, well, he sort of put a block. It's what you call an early blocker, isn't it? It stops a bit of nonsense from Craig, who's elected to also draw on the forehand. And here he comes, and it's looking fairly handy to my
It
eyes.
is. Electing to draw around that.
Yes, and he's got around it okay. But he's got the run in his legs. He's near I'm going to get shot, but he didn't. And let's not forget either, folks, that this is only halfway through the entire series, really, aren't we? Because we've got the singles coming up on the Wednesday and Thursday. I mentioned that this morning.
That's right.
And that's going to be pretty exciting. But the way the format for the singles is that it's 21 up. And because a game of singles doesn't last quite as long as pairs and fours, they're going to play the round robin games all in the one day. And the final of the singles will be on the following morning, the Thursday. But we have been informed that in terms of what we've done so far, it's impossible for us to live stream any more than one event. So what the powers of the organisers are trying to do is they're going to play the singles games at separate times. They're going to play, it was told to us this morning, I'm not sure if it'll be men or women first, but I think they're going to play the men's singles. The women first, Robbie, is it? Okay, they're trying to organise. So this is great news for everybody that they're going to play the women's singles final first, and then once that's been completed, the men will step on the green and they will play their singles. So that to us is tremendous innovation because it's going to give us the opportunity to live stream both.
Well, that's fantastic because, people want to see both.
Well, they do, and it would have been. What a great
good
shot here!
Bowl coming in there. That's Darren.
That's Darren, indeed it is, and he started off pretty well, Chrissy, hasn't he?
He has.
Yeah. So that's a tremendous innovation because for the district, the organisers of the event to have two singles matches on at the same time, it's a very difficult decision to know.
Well, that's actually a good bowl. He's opened up that head.
He has. It's difficult to know which game the games organisers would elect to let us, and we have no control, to let us live stream it. Now we're going to be able to live stream both.
Both finals. That's fantastic.
It's great, and it's just it makes common sense to me too.
Yeah, so Rob has asked Darren to put a bit of cover in behind.
Yep, and here he comes, and he's pretty well done that too, Chrissy, hasn't he?
He has, yeah.
That's a good shot. He's happy with that. He's very happy with that, Rob. He's giving him the high five. He didn't take his hat off, but, that's the next step of appreciation, is to remove the hat.
Yeah. So John's playing this one with a bit of purpose down there.
Yeah, he's run out of luck. So Darren Stanley from the Summit, representing Southern Downs District, he's clearly holding two there.
And he's got the very back bowl. He can play any way.
Yes, he can.
Any way he likes.
He'll be very careful not to be too wide here because he doesn't want to get onto that orange bowl, does he? So he might even elect to play the other hand.
He might go for cover.
But as you say, he's trying to drop in there to prevent any carnage if the kitty gets moved. Troy Jamison's on board. Good afternoon, Troy, and Stephen McNamee. And Bowls Banter has shared with Bowls streaming Facebook group. Bowlers around the world can view the action. Join now, blah, 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 ad. Well, thank you very much, Bowls Banter, whoever you might be, but we'll certainly look out. Here we go. What's happening here? Nothing. Okay, so the Gracemere boys of Craig Hall, he's tried to disturb it all there, didn't he? But it didn't quite work for him.
Yeah, it was a good weighted shot. He's pushed John's bowl. I think he's got the 2 Bacchus bowls now.
Yeah, well, it could in fact because that maroney coloured bowl to the left of screen.
Yeah, there's another bowl.
Another bowl way back there. Okay. Okay, so here comes.
He's looking for a bit of cover there.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty safe, isn't it?
Yep.
Okay, so they've indicated that there's still 2 down, and Craig Hall has got. There could be 3 down actually.
Yeah.
Craig is coming in, and Johnny's getting a bit excited about this, but the excitement quickly passed, didn't it? 2 shots to the summit. So we've now got Darren and Rob who have picked up number 2, so they're down 4-3. So it's game on here, Chrissy.
Absolutely, very close.
Now here's some people that I'll let you read this out. Can you read that? Can you?
Which one?
Mick Wooten.
Hi Gary, you and Robbie and Chris are doing a great job. Congratulations.
I haven't seen.
Thanks, Mick.
Well, see, Mick and Kath, we're friends with them on Facebook.
Absolutely.
We don't get to see them as often as we used to. They used to be regular visitors to Broady, didn't they?
They did, yeah.
But
From Tasmania.
From Tassie, and we haven't actually seen them for 2 or 3 years. Well, I haven't. But anyway, guys, it's lovely to have you on board, and thanks for your kind words, and we love you both. Dave Baker's watching. Good afternoon, David. He's always there and thereabouts, and he's a good sharing. He always shares too. Lynn Galately's there, and she's cheering for the Hawks, naturally. We're going to try very soon as Robbie's finished his sandwich.
Yeah, Darren's put in shorter end here.
Well, yeah, when you're ready, mate. When you're ready, just have your sandwich.
This is one I made up this morning.
Okay. We've got binoculars, so we might be able to jump the gun a bit here.
Well, Nathan Rice and Andrew Howie are down.
They're down 9-0.
9-0.
Well, now. Well, this is a bit of a surprise, you would think. Although.
Good bowl there from John Martin.
I made do a ladies run, or was Ron doing that?
Not for me, thanks. No.
Yeah.
Sorry, Chrissy.
So it's.
Oh no, that's yours. That's your particular sheet. Here, mate. I've got something here you might use. There you go. There's a bit of a blank page.
So it's goodbye from me for now, and I'm going to hand over to Jimmy C. So
Well, that was pretty
thanks
quick.
very much.
Sure now.
Thanks, Chrissy. It's always, we'll have you back. Don't worry about that. It's always lovely to have you, your expert comments. Now, Robbie's got some scores up here. What am I looking at? Well, yeah, rink 1. I've just stepped in the way. It appears that Johnny Martin from Gracemere has drawn a shot there.
All the scoreboards are covered.
Yeah, well, that makes it hard for us to give you much information. Robbie's just saying that their players are standing in front. I might have some binoculars here.
7-0 on here.
Yep. So it's Walford and Styles are 7, leading Olet and Jackson 0 after 3 ends. And that's on rink 1. Now on rink 2, let's see.
Johnny and Jason.
I've got the rinks right. Yes, I have. Newell and Moore are 5, leading Fisher and Williams 2 on 4 ends. Now on rink 3, you've got Nathan Rice and Andrew Howie yet to score against Forbes and Singh, who are 9 after 4 ends. And the binoculars will swing them around and see what I can get you for the other rink. Well, that's the one we're doing, so I don't need to.
One there. We've got that on the screen.
Yeah, we've done
4-3.
it. Yeah, we've done it.
It's only the 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, we've done it. So, welcome back, Jimmy C.
No. See, a couple of hours sleep or whatever I've been doing up there in that other room.
No, you have not.
Be nice if it was.
Nick Carl's back watching with us, Nick, and once again we said very well done to you and your team yesterday. Let's go Johnny and Hawley, he says.
Well, he was, I suppose, soundly defeated by them in the playoff, we'd say, for the zone final, him and Keith Wally.
Yep.
They'd had an unbelievable win in the morning against the Port Curtis pair, but so couldn't produce the same against Hawley and Johnny Martin in the afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
There's a bit, I don't know whether it's been public knowledge, but there's a bit of a story going with the sheepy-looking haircut what we have on Johnny Martin.
But I looked at that before, I thought he looked like Rod Stewart.
I was going to shear him actually. Wasn't going to be a shave, it was going to be a shear, but he said that it would come off immediately
Right.
if they won that first game
Okay.
against the Helensvale boys.
Which they didn't.
But they did perform pretty well. They got within 4 shots with 2 ends to play.
Okay.
Did it 2, and he tells me that they managed to lose 6 on the last end trying to kill it, just so they could get a fair margin behind.
Yeah, sure. That can sometimes happen, can't it?
Well, it was 4 the difference with 2 to play turned into 12.
Yeah.
But saying that, the Toowoomba guys with Jay Singh skipping may open this section back up. So we might have to go looking for those number 3 shears.
Well, that's right. Darren Stanley's played his 4th bowl. He's just dropped a wee bit short on the backhand side, but I'm suspecting he might hold shot with his other bowl, which is Jack high. But now Johnny Martin's come in there and what's he done? He's touched the jack and he's moved it back
To his?
to his bowl. Yes, indeed. In fact, I don't know if it's 2, but he certainly would, I think, have 1. So he don't seem to tell you too much, Johnny, do they?
He has a property at Childers at the moment, so we might conscript him into the Bundaberg team by district sides times because he's living there 6 or 8 months of the year.
Who's this, John, is it you're saying?
Johnny Martin,
Yeah.
yes. And we definitely will share him if he's playing for Bundaberg.
So, last bowls from the skips there, that was Rob Capelli. And he's just come underneath the head there, so it's now back to Craig Hall, who we understand is holding the shot. And he's playing on his forehand. He'd probably be happy enough if he gets inside the white one, wouldn't he?
He gets a little in. No, he didn't quite get up.
No, he didn't. So Rob's come back. He played with reasonable weight with his third bowl. He probably just needs that little extra grass. So we saw from the opposite camera angle there that the...
he's attacking here.
Yes, he
and
is.
He's close.
Well, that's a wonderful shot. Now, what's happened here?
He's got shot.
Well, he may well have, although...
Maybe not.
No, there was no clear... No,
there
there
wasn't
wasn't.
any jumping up and down. So I'd say it's Craig Horsbowl's shot.
I think Darren indicated that there's still one down. Well, they are one down.
No, that's Hawley's shot, the brown bowl. Maybe two with the one touching it. I'm going to look over there about 50 metres away. There's a rough chance of it being two. He's pretty safe with this one.
Yeah. Okay, so now we're going to find out for sure and certain.
The Summit used to be a pretty famous little club at one stage, where it was where Lou Breen came from.
Okay.
Being a household name. His son Michael still
bowling.
winning a Premier League game or whatever it was in New Zealand.
Well, I think he did too.
Wherever it was recently.
I think
That's got to be two.
Yes, it sure is. He led, didn't he?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So that's two to the Gracemere fellows, Johnny Martin and Craig Hall, and they now lead 6-3.
Lou was the chairman of the state selectors for many years, and a very famous person. Led for Charlie Hayes when Charlie was a boy.
Okay.
And won on the Australian fours the first year. That doesn't mean to say that the other blokes played all right. There was Desi Dulles second, Desi Cooper and Charlie Hayes.
Yeah, well, that's a team that you would want to come up against, wouldn't it?
Charlie was only a boy, and Lou, as a lead, kept drawing two within a couple inches of the kitty, which made it fairly easy.
Tony Schubert says go the Summit Bowls Club, Robbie and Banger Stanley. And Alana Scott says she's also cheering for the Summit. Quentin Stanley's is going for Banger, so they're all jumping on the bandwagon here, right? John Deegan says, is that the same Jimmy C from Harvey Bay way?
Yeah, made it Bundaberg, Harvey Bay, or Brisbane or Mooloolaba recently. A few different race courses.
Well, he's been around, Jimmy. He's been around the traps, don't worry about that. And Fiona Hall's back with us. Well, Fiona's a regular. Papa Fiedel.
Met a lot of, made friendships with lots of people over the years at district sides. Played district sides in 85, which is some period of time ago.
Yeah.
34 years.
That's right. That's going back a bit later. That's before I started playing.
That was before there was Brisbane districts. It was more like a country week. There was 36 districts came down, not counting the Brisbane.
Yeah.
It was like a country week.
Mm-hmm.
It was put on in May because that's where all the cane farmers had time off. That was Cairns, Townsville, Mackay, you call it. It was all the way through to Bundaberg.
Well,
it's still held in May.
Johnny Martin would have been holding two shots before Darren came. He's punched his own bowl into the head, and I think the Summit might still be one down, but it's certainly not two like it was before.
Yes, he got almost a perfect result.
He did. He hit it exactly as he needed to, and it just trundled up, and I'm not sure it's coming up, Jimmy.
I'd say it's still one orange, but there's plenty to get now.
As Craig is delivering on his forehand. And Johnny Martin's giving him the early clap, so let's have a look and see what Oh, he's hit Darren's bowl.
He only clapped in case it would run another 2 feet.
Sure. Doesn't always help, does it? So Rob is now on his backhand. And his grass looks to be pretty good. Jimmy, what do you think?
I'm only guessing because I haven't watched too many of these up till now.
Yeah, he's not too bad. He's a beautiful weight there, nearly 2, isn't he? So he can fix that. That's a handy bowl to have there because it's something you can sort of bounce off a bit, isn't it? You get inside that, you'll be pretty happy.
Well, Hawley's forced himself onto the backhand where he's got to get around the white bowl.
I'm not sure that he's done it.
It's about how short he was on the other side.
Yeah, it was. I think he had an extra bowl of weight, didn't he? So up comes Rob again. I'm playing on the same hander. And he looks to have better weight, but he might be just a bit wide unless he gets something
Got
out
his
of that.
own
He's got it.
for one.
And that's, whoa, it
Fell on its back.
It did. It
Fell
sort
on
of fell
its back
backwards.
as soon as
didn't
I
it?
called it.
Yes, you did. So I wouldn't like to pick that, but I suspect, Jimmy, that you might just be right. That bowl on the right-hand side might win by a couple of millimetres, but then...
Unusually, I just won't say anything.
No. Well, you leave it up to me. And Colin Hayes says that he'd pick your voice anywhere, Jimmy. John Deegan says, Jimmy, I played with a lot with Eddie Hall in the under 45s back in the day.
Yeah, should have got a medal.
Who did?
He should have got a medal.
Should he?
For playing with Eddie.
Okay.
Yes, I remember Johnny.
And Maxine Bernarda, she's watching again, she's making biscuits and bread.
Could drop a couple in here.
It's making your mouth water. Maxine, you shouldn't put that on. It's funny. You made me feel hungry. Now I've just had lunch. Biscuits and bread. She's making a little shortbread. I love the shortbread. I'll eat them till the cows come home.
Well, I was feeling really good after lunch, and I was just walking over here, and I saw Jeffrey G's walk in, so I thought I'd sneak up here and hide from him for a while.
Okay, just get away, huh? Now, we're back on the game here, folks, and we're not...
We haven't seen anybody indicate...
No, they don't tell you, do they? They just ignore us completely. But I think your initial call could be right, Jimmy. That bowl on the right of Rob's, I'm suspecting is the shot. So I'll agree with you. We'll both throw our hat in the ring here, mate, and see what happens. But it's so great to have so many people out there watching the telecast. It makes us believe that we're not sitting there wasting their bloody time. And the bottom line is, Jim, that bowls benefits, doesn't it?
Oh, yes, the bowling's it's a get-together sport. It makes... Jay Singh's played another bomb against the...
Has he really?
Against the Helensvale boys. They did
Goodness
score
me.
last end.
They did, they've scored. I'll just give you a report on that.
They got a 5 last end.
Because this is starting to get spooky. They've got... they've bounced back a bit because they're...
10-5.
They've played 6 ends and they're down 10-5. That's Nathan Rice and Andrew Howie, who I would, without being too favourably advanced, would suggest they would be nominal favourites to win the event overall. Would that be fair enough, Jim?
You could say anything, and that would be right.
Okay.
But that would be right.
Well, I don't, we don't want to moz anybody, but,
Have a look at how far they're measuring over on this ring.
Well, I got no idea. They got a garden hose out, have they?
They got a chain tape out.
Oh, they have too. I thought they'd bloody gone for a garden hose to do the measure.
That's...
Now,
The kitty did get hit pretty hard.
Yeah. Well, Stephen Tongo's out here. The kitty smashed one in half at Broadbeach during a Premier League game, and the kitty was very close to the ditch, and he smashed it in half, and both pieces bounced back on the green. And his third said to him, "Now look what you've done." And Tongy said, "What's happened?" He said, "Well, over here," he said, "with this piece," he said, "we're 3 down, but the bit over here we're holding 2. You can't do that, can you? You've got to replay the end. 2 bits of kitty on the green.
You could try and get away with it.
Well, they were 3 down on one bit and holding 2 on the other.
Although he's attempting to play something here, and
All right, so
he's talking about being 5 down.
Oh, no, it couldn't be.
If the kitty goes somewhere. The kitty went somewhere on this rink in front of us. Here he comes.
Well, he hasn't got any Scud missile type weight, has he?
He was.
Well, I don't know. Nobody's indicated anything, but I would be.
One.
Yes, well, we were right, Jimmy.
You were right. You were right. No.
You called it first. I just jumped in with you. You were right. And Rob Capelli's bowl on the right was the shot from Summit. You were the first one to see it. So that now makes it 6-5. And the ends we're not too sure of.
6-4.
Oh, you've just put that up, have you?
He's beat you to the punch.
Oh, my God. He always does that. He might try to make an idiot out of me. I'm doing up.
Come on, you're doing a good job all by yourself.
Do all that on my own. I don't need the bloody help, Robbie.
Stop it. Okay, what do we got? A bit over 3/4, around 3/4 length.
Peasel's just asking, how's the boys going next door? We've just given you a score update there, Peasel. They didn't get off to a very good start at all. They grabbed a 5, and they're trailing a 5-10.
Well, they've scored 1 end out of 6.
Yeah, well, they've only won 1 end. They got a 5. That's it. So the news is not all that good, but it's not disastrous. They're only 5 down. They were down 9-0, weren't they, Jim? They were down 9-0 at one stage. And Faulkner's giving you a laugh there, Jimmy. She said you're hiding from Jeffrey G.
Yep, who wouldn't?
Alex Marlin's watching from Club Manly in Brisbane. And good afternoon to you, Alex. So it's decidedly cooler weather today, Jimmy, isn't it, from what we've had?
Yeah, it's fairly warm the last 2 days.
Yeah, Saturday and Sunday. So on Saturday it got to 31, and I said it was 31 in the shade. I said, well, you don't want to bloody go in the shade, do you? Too hot there. That's the last place you want to be, in the shade.
Geez, they'll be dreaming of getting bloody Brian Marshall back if he keeps that up.
Well, it was 31. Why would you want to go and stand in the shade? Dilly. Okay, so we've got...
A bit unusual for Johnny to drop one that far short.
Yes, it is. And Darren appears to be holding a couple here. He's bowling very well, Darren, isn't he? He's setting it up for Rob. So here comes Rob with his first bowl.
Pretty handy. Although...
Well, no, he's got a good shot here. He's just a wee bit short. In fact, he's 2 foot short, as Darren has just indicated. Yeah, see it. It's very deceptive, isn't it? You see it from that side angle.
We're looking at that kitty in the ditch then, Robbie, are we?
Damn sight shorter than you would think from the view we've got.
Same time.
Yep.
Craig Hall now. Craig's got some decent weight here, but it's too decent. So Darren's just indicated to Robbie that he needs, Rob Capelli, that he needs at least another 2 feet.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the list of people watching here. We've got Chris Leifeld, and now we've got Shonky, so we've got 2 laws on board now.
Oh, we've got the laws all
we'll
over
be
the
laying
place.
down the law shortly.
They will be. Well, see, he hasn't done any better, has he, Rob, with this one? He's played the perfect grass again, and he's dropped it a bit shorter.
He's still holding the 2 white ones.
We've got Gavin Law back, watching from Lake Cathy in New South Wales.
There you go.
But is he really not related to the laws up here, is he?
No, he was the secretary for the Bundaberg district. He was the law from Bundaberg.
Okay, so you know them all. That's why I'm so happy to have you here, mate, because there's lots of folks that you know that I don't.
You know a lot of laws you've broken, most
Well,
of them.
don't say that. You give the people the wrong impression. Oh, my God.
Well, I could easily get the sack for tomorrow when the greenkeepers doesn't do any work.
Well, I don't know, Brian. Brian, he's watching now. Well, anyway, so I'm about to suggest that the Summit gentlemen here have got 2 shots, both courtesy of Darren Stanley. And
Johnny's going to get up there on the forehand by the look of it.
Would appear so.
I'm looking down the wrong barrel.
You are indeed. I thought you might be wrong. I didn't want to correct you because you've never been wrong yet. That's Darren Stanley coming in, and he's just dropped in behind. Well, that's not such a bad ploy either.
Call that not wasted.
Well, it's not, because you think that the head's not going to quite stay exactly like that, would you?
Johnny hasn't got enough weight to I was going to say bruise a grape, but...
He's got the weight, but he hasn't got the territory.
Thought he might have been a little bit more aggressive down that gully.
Bob McCauley's watching. Good afternoon to you, Bob, and thanks for your attendance. We're having so much fun with all this. I mean, you've got to love blowing bowls, haven't you? To even watch it or listen to all the rubbish I'm talking about. So Darren has changed his hand, and he's coming into a fairly good home here if he just runs a bit more, but he's fortunately not going to. Johnny Martin's got the same sort of weight, but he's gone a little bit wider, which is what he needed to do.
And he's he crashed.
Oh, the pain.
Now they got one in the head.
I think, yeah, but there's the orange bowl behind the jack there somewhere. This one on the left-hand side.
Yep.
I think that's the 3rd shot, isn't it?
It's 3rd shot.
Yeah, so they're 2 down with 2 of Darren's bowls. But Craig Hall will be looking to turn this around. You can back that in.
I keep seeing these people that come down here watching. I can't talk about them all, but the friends you meet and make over the years in bowls, I've got a little story I'll tell when the next break comes around.
Yeah, well, there's always little snippets of information and stories you can sit there all day and tell people, couldn't you?
It's one of my old favourites about a couple of blokes playing a junior state final.
Okay,
He had to get under that white one.
No, and he didn't. Well, that's definitely... Well, if there was any question about 2 shots, there's no question now it certainly is.
Oof.
2 down.
I don't suppose they can get rid of that orange ball. It's only worth 7.
Well, where in the hell is he going to get rid of that?
He would have to
have
enough weight to just clear his own white ball that counts.
Oh, now he's
not worth
down.
7 anymore.
No.
Still two white ones.
Yeah, 2 to Darren Stanley.
That would square it up unless Craig can do something here. He's got a chance.
He has. He's got the right weight to hold past that.
Had to get
bunch
the
there.
inside of the white.
He's got to get... well, what's happened here? Oh, it's still 2. 2 it is.
He was thereabouts.
Okay, so that's...
Square.
Indeed. So once again, folks, we had the match in the morning between the ladies ended up being the closest game of all 4 of the first round, and looking at what we're bringing here today, you can't get any closer than this from the men's, can you? After 7 ends, it's 6 all. Yeah. We'll just see if we can give you something else here as you're sitting there drinking your cup of coffee. Newell and Moore are 11. Fisher and Williams are 3 on 6 ends. Rice and Howie are 5. And Forbes and Singh are 10 on 6 ends. So that hasn't changed for
Helensvale won the last end, but I don't know how many.
I don't know how they've got, no. And then we've got
8-3.
I've gone too far. Yeah, there was a man standing in front.
8-3 to Marlin Coast.
Okay. I couldn't quite get that one. You get some folks standing in the way, but it's not their fault. They're entitled to be there, aren't they? Yes, indeed. Okay, so it's all good. We'll have. Do we have? Do you want me to nick up and grab the ladies' scores, Robbie?
Thought Ronnie might do that.
Is that okay? You're right, Jimmy. Yep. Okay. Excuse me, folks, and I'll just go and get the ladies' results for you.
Still a long way to go with the game next door with 7 ends. Down, Helensvale less than 5 behind. 6 all in the game being televised. Live streamed, televised, close to the same thing. Just a fraction under, which is promoted Johnny Martin's bowl of roll to make it shot if it wasn't already before. Nice grass here. And probably where they needed one. The Hamilton pair of Newell and Moore leading 11-3 and had a big win in the first game. Can take control of their section, their half of the draw, should I say. With if they continue on their merry way as they are at 11-3. Craig looks close here again. Commentators should always commentate after the end's finished and go back and watch them. I thought that was pulling up a little bit further short than his first one. And nearly got through as far. But we're at the home of the bush rangers here. I used to think it was Grundon country. I've seen Jason, but I haven't seen his father Kevy yet. And the Bush Rangers have now qualified into the Premier League, as I understand it. They'll be playing Premier League next year with the big boys. They have got a very nice sign out the front there from 1913 when they won the Division 1 pennant final. I remember it well. They went right down to the last bowl against Pine Rivers. That was at Tweed Heads, 2013, I think, when the Bush Rangers won the state pennant final, and Mr. Wilkie made a very tricky little comment to them about a little meeting there on Saturday morning about how they may have underperformed in the district sides. But we won't go any further there as Johnny Martin comes in to draw unsure off the TV there whether that's two or one. The boys are keeping it a secret. It's not much good them telling everybody. Hard to say even from that angle. Our miracle man swings us around to have a bit of a look. Yeah, is that here? If it's here, it's close. It's close. Craig's got three balls all within 6 inches of one another there. Been very close to the money. One ball skinnier. May change and play through on the backhand now, arriving on the backhand. They have 4 balls in a bunch, they're a metre behind. Got 2 options, the orange one onto the jack or a little half edge of the white ball across. In the area. Got his own for 2 down, maybe 3 down. He didn't get much joy out of being close. Could be worse than that. While we're watching the measure, we'll give you the result happening next door, with Helensvale clawing their way back to 8-10 after 8 ends. Is that only one?
Yep.
Boss tells me it was 1 shot. I was looking over at the Helensvale score. Wasn't any worse than what he played. He was pretty close to getting a good result. Sometimes it just doesn't happen.
Gary's away doing it. I think you need to smoke it. Huh? You needed to smoke it.
Guess most skips would take that for a first bowl. A couple of feet behind the head on the line. Can only remember a few that would complain about that. Gee, I can hear footsteps.
You hear footmarks approaching?
Looks like we've got Gary back in the harness.
Thank you, Robbie. I've just and Jimmy, I've just been up the top green and got some scores for the ladies for you. The green up there is running a good 2 seconds quicker than the one that we're on here now. Chrissy Pavlov and I both agreed. Okay, so up the top green, you've got Broadbent and Perry, 5. McCall and Meng, 8, after 6 ends. You've got Messina and Charman, 9. Leading Logan and Reed, 4, after 6 ends. Now, Hofstetter and Campbell, the two ladies that we had on the live stream this morning, they're leading 17-1 over Ackroyd and Stud after 6 ends. And in the final game up there, Ezzy and Parry are leading 10-3 over McAdam and McDonald after 6 ends.
17-1.
17-1 after 6 ends.
And the ladies, they played it into the wire against from Toowoomba
They
behind
did.
10-3.
And that's right, the Toowoomba ladies are down 10-3 in their second match, and Hofstetter and Campbell are leading 17-1 after 6. So there's some very interesting things happening, and the other interesting result is that Debbie Logan and Glennis Reid from the Gateway District are down 9-4 after 6. There's nothing guaranteed in bowls, is there, Jimmy?
No.
Except that they give you 4 every time you buy a set. Probably only play good with 1. Okay, so Bob McCauley's back. Thanks, Bob. Neil Russell, he says, here, Jimmy. I don't know what you said, but whatever you said, Jimmy, Neil Russell agreed with you. There's very few people come on here who haven't. And the great man, Brett Wilkie, is tuned in. Afternoon, Bretto. Gary Ayrton says, go Johnny Martin, watching from Bundaberg Friendly Hospital.
What's he doing at the hospital?
Well, only Gary can tell you. He might be paying a bill. What do you think?
Don't know. I was talking to him the other day.
Karen Goldsworthy said, thanks for the ladies' scores updates. No worries, Kaz. We'll get up there as often as we can, because that's part of what our duties require. Okay, so let me just come back and have a look at the game that we're broadcasting or televising, having missed a couple of ends.
And
Just
he had to sit on it, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, he might have got it out.
His bowl fell backwards as well.
I think the two brown bowls are opposite sides. I was away with the fairies when the first 2 second bowls went down.
Oh, okay.
I was watching something in the Helensville game that was...
Well, we've mentioned that before too, Jimmy. It's very hard because we've got...
You can always watch 4 games at
Well,
once.
we've got, we've got 4 games, and they're on rings 1, 2, 3, 4. And whilst we can't see exactly what's going on, we can see the heads building on each rink, can't we?
It's much easier to see what's going on when you're out there playing in 4 rinks and knowing what's happening on all 4 when the pennant games are on. It's a bit harder when you're looking at one here, as soon as you look away, something happens.
But being the bowls enthusiasts that we all are, it's a human thing for us to want to keep an eye on what's going on everywhere else.
That's it.
And, it's not just a matter of watching the live stream game. It's a decided interest we all have in the other three rinks.
I was getting back to a bit of a story with old mates and juniors and whatever else. See, we've had a lot of really good juniors come through the Bundaberg area now.
Yep.
Our last couple of star ones have been Alex Murtaugh and Kurt Brown. Now, Nick and Kurt Brown played club championships together.
Yes.
18 months ago. And
well, there's a great shot coming in here. Look at this. Sorry to interrupt
and probably made two. That would interrupt anybody.
Yeah, no, sorry, mate. I couldn't let that go without saying something.
You've got to say something. You're here to commentate on these bowls coming down. Someone draws a toucher like that. Well, I think he was one down. He could have turned into two shots.
Well, I think he might have two now. He's just moved the jackal enough, hasn't he, to bring that other one in, you think?
Maybe.
That's very much closer than what it was. That's a fantastic shot. Now, here we go. Oh, no.
Oops.
Okay, now.
He's having a look. He hasn't called one.
No, he hasn't called Rob on anything at this stage. Well, now he has. He's thrown his arm out to the left-hand side. He's saying you can try and beat that orange one. You're going to be very close. He's got to negotiate his way. Now, Robbie's phone's going off, and then we got the hit parade now in the background.
I nearly chimed in with the next line.
I'm a tiger. Now, how's he going, Rob? What's he done here?
He had to come a little
Jimmy,
further.
Is he going to run it?
Yeah, no.
Not quite.
6 inches.
So now, Craig is he's tossing and turning here. He doesn't quite know. Will he come down and have a look? No, he's not going to. He's made up his mind. That's okay.
I don't know what weight he's playing.
Well,
he may play less weight, but he's got to bounce that kitty to the orange bowls.
Yeah, well, he's
somewhere.
He's certainly got the weight to get in amongst this bunch.
No, he hasn't.
Is he going to slide off it?
No.
No, he has not. Okay, so
we will find out how many it is now.
We'll see. He's pulled that one out on the side.
Yep. Maybe 3. Maybe
it's
4.
Okay, so that's opened up a can of worms, wasn't it?
We thought it might have been 2.
Well, we were thinking 2 and maybe the one on the left counted, but we certainly weren't thinking 4. So that sort of opens up the picture a little bit, ladies and gentlemen, because that's 11-6 now.
Yep.
And you always love to get something better than a 2, don't you? And a 4's a bonus.
Well, it was a great shot he played, drawing that toucher on the backhand.
Well, it was. That was the shot of the end. Kerry Green is watching. I don't know if Kerry's a male or a female. Can you tell me? Because Kerry's a sort of name for both people, isn't it? You don't know either. We've finally come up with somebody.
I'm not touching that comment. You'll stick with that one.
Well, it is. I'm only stating the truth. Kerry, okay. And Neil Russell. You don't know Kerry. Well, Kerry, you've absolutely stumped the expert because...
I don't know which the other one is.
Well, Kerry can be a male or female name. and Steve and Jimmy C here is Kerry. You're the first person to come on board that Jimmy doesn't know.
You don't think so? I only know one of them. I don't know the male or female part. Okay.
Now, Steve Jolly's asking for a score from the Summit.
Summit game?
Well, that's the one we got. Oh, no, he says the Summit versus Central Queensland. What's happening here? That's the ladies' game, is it?
No, this is the Summit versus Central Queensland.
Oh, okay. Well, it's on the screen.
Summit just scored a 4 to go 11-6.
Kerry is the Vice President of Bowls Queensland.
Yes. He's just not here today.
Oh, okay.
He's just not here today. I thought you were having some sort of a shot.
I've never been introduced to him. No one said
He
to
was
him,
here for the last 2
I
days.
know. But nobody said, Gary, would you like to meet Gary?
Oh,
No, you've slipped up. Oh, you stupid man, Gary.
I thought-
Bloody, how come I got this thrown at me? Put my hand up. Oh,
we'll
dear.
leave that one alone.
Yeah, I'm moving right along.
Anyway, I'll get back to a bit of knowing a lot of the juniors. My favourite story is
Yes, you should have.
many years ago, 2 blokes played the final in the Queensland under-18s. One was a pretty tall red-headed bloke. Played a bit of football. Was a pretty good footballer. Got a bit injured.
Yeah.
One was a little hoppy-legged bloke that started playing bowls in a wheelchair because
Yeah.
spent 12 months in hospital with a thing like polio.
Yeah.
And was in hospital for over 12 months, maybe 18 months in and out of a coma with it. And I'm not even sure who won. I know it was down to the last bowl in the juniors. Two of our best players ever to play probably for Australia, Steve Glasson and Kelvin Kirko.
Mm-hmm.
They were born about 10 days, 14 days apart. And from that under-18 junior final, they become lifelong friends, as you do in bowls, and now they're lifelong buddies working at the same job and the same for Bowls Australia.
Mm-hmm.
So it's things you meet in bowls, things you remember.
Yeah.
I remember them playing all square. I don't even remember who won the under-18 final in about 86 or 7 or 8. I suppose Kelvin or Steve will fix that up. But now they're just missing out on playing in the under-45s now, and they're two of our greatest bowlers that represent Australia ever.
Yeah.
They came through the juniors as their opposition to one another and fed off each other and were quickly taken up by the other star bowlers at the time that recognised their ability.
Yeah, sure. That happens, doesn't it?
And when you talk of legends and whatever, they come from the juniors, and in my eyes they're two of the greatest legends of the game.
And?
They're still kicking and still now giving back to bowls. Kelvin playing second for Kurt and Turley. That makes that into an exceptional side.
It certainly does. Yeah.
I don't think Kelvin tells all the stories about his early days with his sickness.
No, but he's
He keeps that quiet. He might keep that down to a go in his book when he writes it about how they weren't too sure of how long he was going to be with us and started playing bowls in a wheelchair.
Yeah. Well,
Now he's got that bloody hoppy leg.
Yeah, he's one of the most loved, respected, and admired Australian champions that has ever walked.
Well,
as you've just alluded to, and he's always been a favourite of mine, that's for sure.
See, they always said Kelvin needed that walking stick for balance. He always used that for balance, but Stevie Glasson at the time used to use a small piece of equipment for balance in his left hand on his knee.
Okay.
And that got him out of a lot of photos at different times. They only photographed him from the waist up.
Yeah, not today. Well, just quickly, can we just give you an update here? Sorry to interrupt you, Jimmy, with your great stories. Darren Stanley here from the Summit is holding 3 shots, and I'm just having a look to see. I think it's only 3.
It's only 3.
Yeah, and now this could be a game buster if they could hang on to this, but I'm suspecting that they may not. So Rob himself has got, I think, 4th shot, but I don't know where his other bowl is. So here he comes down here. He'd be laughing his head off here because he's holding 3.
He could get in to tuck this away.
Oh, I think he's played a cracker here, don't you?
He could tuck it. He might just draw a front knocker.
Well, that's a great shot, but, you know, that's a real good bad shot, isn't it?
He's opened it up.
Well, not only that, he's brought in the head by a bowl and a half too. But, I mean, how can you stop, you know, saying, well, I'm not going to do that?
We'll find out.
Well,
very shortly.
Yeah, we've got Craig who's about to open his shoulders.
He didn't let go very well there. He could get it off that white ball.
Oh, and he has. Can you believe that? There's a pinball shot, that one.
Could get it off that white ball. You've got to miss by a lot to get a wick like that.
Well, you do.
Not much good missing by an inch. You don't get a big wick like that.
No, you don't. Well, I was going to tell him you said that. Now, he's actually rattled his way through there.
He might stay on it in the long
well,
wide
it
rink.
has, and he's gone back and is certainly holding one, but everyone else is back there. Well, there's a hell of a long way, but I'm sure that...
it's probably only on the rink by an inch.
I'm sure that whatever's holding second shot, Rob's going to beat.
The middle of those 2 lines is the peg, so he's got to be inside the kitty to stay on. And now Hawley gets a free shot to get 2.
Pauline Rose, who was here with the 4s, she's back home in Harvey Bay after playing the champion of club champion 4s on the weekend, and she's enjoying sitting back watching the live stream. Well, thanks, Pauline, and well done on your efforts to get where you did. And what's happened here?
One shot.
Yeah, I think Rob.
One shot to Gracemere.
To Gracemere. I think Craig might have gone in the ditch there, but it didn't count.
He snicked the kitty.
Kerry's going to introduce himself to me tomorrow. And so I'll be very nice to say hello to you, Kerry. And Greg Bostock is watching.
I thought it was a setup for me, Kerry. I wasn't saying anything.
No, we'd never set you up. Trent Smalley is watching. Good afternoon, Trent.
Trent, one of the leading players in CQ.
Yes, he is. He said, I taught you that shot. I think that's the one he's referring to, whether he came through the pinball machine, didn't he? And bounced the kitty out behind the back of the head. Okay, so it's 11-7 in favour of the Summit.
Probably shouldn't mention that Gracemere is a Division 2 club in CQ this year.
Oh, are they really?
They had an influx of about 10 of the leading players in the area.
Mm-hmm.
They remained a Division 2 club, and have the singles player John Lennon.
Yeah, he's here.
John Lennon.
Not yet. He's not. Yeah,
he's not one of the Beatles. He's
no, I knew that. He'll be here for the singles.
He'll be here for the singles.
Yes. Just an update on the. I don't know if you've done this, but I can see the scoreboard. The Helensvale boys, Rice and Howie, are down against Forbes and Singh, 9-14, and they've played 10 ends. And scoreboard's been blocked by the players on the other rinks, and I can't help you out with that.
Newell and Burn 12-7.
Okay, you got it on a different angle, or you got on.
The 5-1 is 12-5, is it? I can't.
12-7. You've given that one, guys, haven't you?
Yep. That's the one where Newell and Moore Hamilton leading.
Yeah, and the other board is obscured.
And we didn't comment on someone drawing a toucher on the.
Oh well, it's our friend Darren Stanley again. He's doing his part, isn't he, Jimmy?
He's thereabouts.
Yeah, mind you, Johnny Martin's playing all right too, but he just seems to be being outdrawed by Darren at the present moment.
I suppose the difference is that big score they got. Other than that,
yeah, I think, thanks, Joyce McGeorge, we've just given you an update on the score there, 14-9. I think Diane Van Zeeland has come in and confirmed that. So it's all very handy for
10-5. 10-5 is the game with Marlin Coast leading.
Okay, they've just got out the way. Yep. So that's the other board we can see. So it's always very handy for those folks who are watching and can hear previous comments, and you can share it amongst yourselves to answer some of the questions that you're asking if we can't give you an answer straight away.
Right.
Mate, I wouldn't mind a can of Coke. Is that okay?
Coke's no good for you,
Apparently. Well, Robbie keeps
Get him
drinking.
2 cans of Coke then.
He keeps drinking it. He reckons it's all right.
Yeah, well, Newell and Moore were getting it all their own way, but the opposition have scored a few shots in the last few ends and have a resting front touch at this end, so that game could tighten up.
There's all sorts of exciting stuff happening here. We're just trying to bring you results, and not just on the game we're streaming, because you can actually see that yourselves. We're trying to get all the results on the other rinks as best we can. Previous winners back in 2003 was Ken Murray, Larry Pursehouse, Royce Parker and Peter Pursehouse. They were from Bundaberg. You'd know them,
From
Jimmy.
Gladstone.
Port Curtis. Well, it's written here as
Bundaberg. That was when we were combined district.
A couple of roustabouts I met when I was in Mackay. I lived up there for 12 months. Was Ray Kurtz, Alan Howard, Paul Bailey and Ray Mackay. And Alan Howard is a current member. He wasn't then, but he surely is now a current member of the Queensland senior sides.
That was 4s we're talking.
Yeah, that's the previous winner of the 4s, yeah. Thanks, Robbie, for a can of Coke. And here comes Darren. Here comes Darren with his third bowl. He's pinched this one a bit and he's going to nick under the head.
And he was trying to play onto him.
He was.
Johnny Martin's played a really good shot to kick that toucher out. Lie 1.
I am calling the forward. I'm supposed to be back to the pairs, aren't I?
Had a little sniff at sitting the white ball.
Okay.
I know a couple of blokes that won the pairs twice recently that should be on there, I would think.
So we'll be here. We've got them all. The pairs in 2002 was Nathan and Robert Thompson. We mentioned that before, didn't we?
Yep.
And in 2003 was Brett Wilkie and Nathan Rice. They're back again. It was back in the days when they were at Tweed Heads, by the looks of this. So here's Nathan popping up again. He's back again for another crack, and I think his name might come up even a bit later. 2004 was Frank Bella and Steve Helmeyer. Well, they're both still around.
Where's Frankie Bella?
Well, I'm not sure. I think he's in northern New South Wales somewhere now, isn't he? Doesn't he play down there?
No,
He still
snuck over from Western Australia.
I think he still represents Malta, doesn't he, in the
Oh, yes.
game?
I don't know whether he still does, but he did.
He certainly did, didn't he?
Got about Frankie playing for Malta.
Yeah.
He used to play for a bloke from Western Australia called Peter Sardelic.
Yeah.
Who was a star player.
Know the name.
He had a little pork pie hat, same as Robbie Preller had, and when they played one another, it was... I don't know whether the word spiv would be the right word.
It was on to be young and old.
I remember one game that got played, they didn't want to go on and play at 3 o'clock at 3 o'clock in the afternoon in the district sides. They wanted them to play to get it over with. And
Yep.
it took them about half an hour to have their trial ends. And between Sardelic and Prella, they killed 14 ends and finished 1-1.
Oh, you're
When
kidding.
it got dark,
When they couldn't see.
they didn't really want to play that game until they were all ready to go the next day.
Yeah, sure.
And Norm Cunico and the boys that were running the show at the time were very frustrated, thinking that they had a good 3 hours to get a game over with.
How wrong were they?
They didn't think they should. Peter Sardelic and Robbie Preller had it down pat and organised it between one another.
Yeah, they doctored the whole thing.
And they played that slow and killed the end every opportunity. And they come and played from 1-1 the next day as they wanted to, originally. I'm not sure they could get away with that in this day and age.
Oh, well, Rob Perrell get away with anything.
They tell me he's doing the umpire's course tomorrow.
Is he?
Or
Okay, so what's happened here? Gracemere, Johnny Martin's claiming one shot, I think he said. 8-11 down.
that's it. The boss was watching harder than us.
Winners of the event in 2005 were Ken Woodward and Alan Cullen from Algester. And I believe Alan now, I think he's in his 80s now, still bowling well, from what I've been told. Would you know that, Jimmy?
Alan Cullen, played Alan Cullen many, many times.
I played him in last year in the Premier, what they call the Premier Sevens, or over 60 Premier Sevens or something. And by crikey, we had to play him twice, once at home, once away. And we won at home and lost away, but he's still a damn good player, isn't he, Alan?
Always was a good player.
Yeah, well, he and his partner won this event. I think I don't want to be disrespectful to Alan, but I've got some idea that he'd have to be over 80 by now, because I think he was a superstar when I started playing 30 years ago.
He's definitely over 80.
Okay, so we've got to change the camera angle here, but...
He's never had bowls that turned a very lot.
well, the day I played him, he didn't either. I picked the bowl, I was looking for the holes that were drilled in it. I'm thinking he might have one of those 10-pin things.
You've got me at a loss. I can't go on with that story. That'll get told at the bar tonight.
Oh, well, so, all right. Well, we'll keep that one for later, will we?
But
Okay,
won many events. Skip for Gateway when Gateway was at its peak. When Glasson was skipping one rink, Allen was skipping one rink. So that says something about how good he played in those days.
Well, I could believe it because the man still plays well now. Johnny Martin, he's drawn a couple of crackers here, and the man who's been
He's
holding,
about to wreck.
he's totally lost control. Here, Darren. It was a bit of a shame because Darren's been playing extremely well, and so has John.
We haven't thrown it right up here near us for a while.
Well, no, they've chucked us nearly out of sight, haven't they? So, well, that's it. You are, Robbie. I usually.
Is that right?
I usually use my allowance up on the first end.
That may be why you got Player of the Series for the over 60s series, was it? That you're allowed one bad
end.
Gee, if you
Said to me after the first deal, sorry, Gary, you've used all yours.
Yes.
All right. So
I've
this
seen
gives
people win games with having more than one bad end.
Yeah. So now the Gracemere fellows would be getting rather excited here because they're holding two wonderful shots. And
this one's not short.
Craig is just thrown this completely.
And as they say in the classics, they won't be able to wick off that one.
No.
The target is still very minimal.
Okay, so now Rob Capelli, he's coming down on his forehand. He chucked it. You will chuck it out enough here, Rob.
Yeah,
I think he's done that.
He's handy.
Oh, golly, gum shots. Don't tell me he's drawn this.
Nowhere near it.
If he falls in,
he's still falling.
Is he toppling over? That's
You wouldn't.
shots, and that's the end in the middle.
wouldn't deny anybody a great shot like that.
No, you wouldn't. And I suppose from where... Oh, see, where to make an opinion here. Now,
the orange one's nearly touching.
Well, this is going to sort them in from the...
Not up. It's a foot short.
Now, what does Rob do here? Is that in his way, or is he try and bounce off it? Or has he changed his hand? No, he's...
Let's see what he's given him both ways.
Well, he's elected. He's called him to play both hands.
He's given him both
options. He's only got one bowl. Now, what am I going to do now? He said.
Given him both options. You'll find out what his favoured side is then.
Well, I think that's a pretty... I'm not out there trying to tell him what he's supposed to do, but he just played a wonderful shot on his forehand with his first one.
He's close.
Oh, mate, he's so close it doesn't matter. Snicker off that, and you can't play two great shots like that and still be down, can you? You can. We've just seen it. Obviously.
Oh, we've seen a replay too. How about that?
He might get it this time.
Sounds like that horse I backed. I watched the replay and it still ran second.
Yeah, well, I did the same thing when I got home from bloody Caulfield one day. I watched the replay and the thing ran second on the track, but I thought the run might have done it good when I watched the replay. I sat on the couch, I was cheering it, and Dad said to me, "What are you cheering about? It's already lost." I thought the run might have done it good.
Geez, they're really going to hope they get Brian back tomorrow, eh?
Well, I mean, he's welcome back. You two can take over. I can't have a midday nap or something. Where would we be without comedy? I'm damned if I know. It's easy for me to say. Now, who else have we got watching? Peter Pursehouse was from Boyne Tannum.
Yes, I know Peter very well. He is a star poker player.
Was he?
We might have gone over on a little trip overseas.
Poker face.
Playing Texas Hold'em.
Yeah, now Lynn's asking for an update.
And then we have Mad Dog Douglas is on my little one here. Mad Dog played for Australia in the under-25s in his time with little blokes like Troy Somerville and Birdie Dupre, Michael Brown. Kept a couple of little blokes out of the side, like I think Adam Jeffrey and Gary Willis came in with him the next year. He's of that same vintage and a very talented player. Haven't seen him for some years. He did play a few years Premier League at Hamilton.
In answer to your question, Lynn Gillately, I think that's how you pronounce it. An update on Nathan Trink. Well, just let me tell you that they haven't altered the score from the last time we reported.
But they have the mat, so they won the last end.
Righto, so they're going to hopefully update that. But let me tell you that the last time we reported, Andrew and Babe were down 9-14 after 10 ends. But that's... yes, I've seen that one. I'll get one at a time.
Yeah, but keep flowing with it. You're letting them go about that many before answering.
Righto, so Joyce is asking... No, it's not Joyce at all. David Spicer wants to know, someone give me the Marlin Coast scores, please. Now, they're out here on the ring.
They're in front, 13-6.
Is that right, Jimmy? You got it?
Yep, 13-6.
Right. Marlin Coast leading?
Yep.
13-6, David. At this stage, and I think most of the teams have played around about 10 ends.
Once this end changes, I'll go around and do the score.
Yeah, we're going to... Robbie's going out for a wander about to get everything up to date.
Yes, you've got to keep an eye on that when it's going through, because it's about 6 or 7 before you're answering one way at the top.
Okay.
I can't hear what he's saying.
We've got to keep up with them.
Yeah, now,
Davies.
ends don't count, do they? Yes, they do.
Ends don't count, they're replayed.
Oh, this you're talking about dead ends, but
We
they play 21 ends.
Yeah.
That sort of answers.
No, ends don't count. We count on, it's worked on wins then margin.
Yeah.
And percentage, of course, if you're square on wins and margin.
Now, what are we looking at here, Jimmy?
We've got the ladies' scores.
Oh, that's wonderful.
We have Mackay, Rundaming up 10-5 against Broadbent and Perry.
8 ends.
On 8 ends.
Yep.
Logan and Reed crawl back a bit, but they're still 7-10 behind Messina and Charman.
On 10.
Hofstetter and Wendy Campbell 21-4 against Ackroyd and Stud on 10 ends. And Ezzy and Parry 14-5 against McAdam and McDonald. So that's also on 10 ends. So Logan and Reed tightening from 5 behind last call to 3 behind. Other than that, the ones that were in front on our previous call are maintaining what they were in front.
Okay, well, it's getting down. Well, it's all exciting because the games upstairs seem to be tightening up, are they, Jimmy? Overall, they seem to get.
Johnny Martin was going for ditch to ditch, and all he got was Kitty in the sand.
Yeah, all they got was one shot on that last end. So that's 9-11. Robbie's already on top of that.
And there's a couple of skips bowls to update both of these other games. And a great shot there from Marlin Coast. He played weight into the back toucher, squeezed it and picked it up himself again the second time.
Well, you're taller than me. You can look over the front of your desktop screen so you can see that game. I can't. I'm too short.
Okay.
I'm looking straight into there. I've got to almost stand up. Back on the televised game, we've got young Darren. He's come good again, and not that he's ever been not, but he's...
Well, the boss said he was allowed one bad end.
He did, he's had that, and he sorted himself out here and got back on track.
Oh, I've got to try and figure out my thoughts on that. Was John Finlayson was the team you were in, and you got best performed team?
Okay,
on the screen.
Yeah, we got him.
13-6.
That's Marlin Coast, is it not?
Marlin Coast in front.
Leading 13-6.
Yep.
Now,
that game's 13-7, about to update the board.
13-7 for that game there. The next one will be the...
Well, they've got a bowl to play to put 2 more ends on the next game.
See, there once again, we've got that same score from Nathan and...
Jay Singh's been up to have a look at the head before he plays his last bowl, and we'll have 2 more ends to update.
Yeah, they haven't updated for the last end. So at that point it was 9-14, but we believe Helensvale won the previous end. Yep, and we're not...
Jay Singh must be down, I'd say, to come and have a look at... He had a long, hard look at the head, and he's back up his end, about to let it go.
Yeah, Darren Stanley still got the shot for the Summit boys. And now Craig Hall is trying to upset the apple cart. And
they're all clapping Jay Singh's bowl, so...
Oh, okay.
I suggest he converted something.
Well, yeah, and his mates picked up the mat, so...
There's a 15-foot high wall in the road for me for that one, so you'll have to look around it.
I've got a...
I'm not tall enough to look over a 15-foot high wall.
Me either, with a run-up start. Yeah, so Jay has converted the head there. So
how are we heading to the scoreboard? We'll find out shortly.
Yes, we will. We'll have to go back and... well, we can't give you any... Well, this I can...
We can now.
If we get out the way.
If he moves his left arm, I thought he put over 14.
15. Well, now, Forbeson's seeing a 15.
Yeah.
But we put... Now, hang on a minute. hold the phone. There is a 4
Yeah,
on
it's
the end of
14,
Nathan.
15. So
Nathan, so
Helensvale got a 5
They
last
got a
end.
5 on the previous end.
I'm pretty sure we have to just move out.
No, well, the number on the right was a 4. Now,
Yep.
there it is, 14, 15.
Yep. Helensvale
So
only
the
one
Helensvale
behind
boys
now.
are only one behind Christie.
And when they've been a long way down, they've scored a 5. When they're 6 behind them, they got a 5. But it's not unusual for Lurch and Howie to get a 5 off somebody.
Oh, well, they get 8 off me.
They're exceptional players and can produce a 5 out of not very much most times.
Oh, well, they know how to do it, don't they? Now, here we are back at the Mucky Meadow Airport, and the Summit boys are definitely holding 1, and I suspect this is not quite going to change anything. So here comes Darren with his 3rd bowl, and he played very well, Darren. He just had one ordinary end that we mentioned before, but you don't like to talk about that because, as you say,
He recovered from that.
He did. And now here we go with Johnny Martin. He's going to try and, I think he'll be trying to get under his other orange bowl, don't you?
He's well under it.
He certainly is. It all depends on his weight now to see if he's going to hold up. He might even get to sit that white bowl, and he's not that far away, and he's done it. Well, see,
I think you called that one.
I did. And Craig Hall, he sort of started the clapping before he'd actually made contact, so he knew it was all right too.
You normally do when they're halfway down.
Well, now here comes Darren once again.
He's close.
He is too. Has he got the weight to make any difference? He's cracked onto it, and I think there's still 1 down, but it's a damn good shot because he's opened it up a bit.
Craig signalled, it appeared he might have signalled one up.
Oh, did he? I didn't see
Couldn't
that.
see his hand.
Okay, yeah, well, it's a bit hard when they're walking away from you, isn't it? Yeah.
I think both the leads were happy with their last bowl each.
I'm sure they would be. And that's what pairs is all about, because not only do you play lead, you play 3rd, don't you?
Yep.
Basically, in a game of
Exactly.
pairs.
Except that you get 4 goes instead of 2,
You
which
do.
makes it easier to play.
Yeah. But it's one of the most popular games, Jimmy, isn't it? Pairs right throughout the bowling fraternity. In terms of... here we go. Here, we'll just shut down for a minute and see what happens here. Well, that's a very nice shot.
4s requires a little bit more strategy,
Well,
being
it does.
only 2 bowls
It
than
does.
4
Of
bowls.
course it does.
You can play just on correcting the 4 bowls.
But the beauty of pairs as well too is that sometimes there's a tremendous advantage to be able to visit the head and actually see how the whole situation is
We
formed.
watched that one in slow motion.
Yeah, we did. That was a lovely shot from Craig. You're going to try and emulate that. So
Emulate?
Yeah.
What race is that in?
Emulate. I think it won a Melbourne Cup, didn't it? I'm packing it on. Why do you ask me these questions?
Why do you ask?
So now Craig's changed his mitt here, and he's gone sort of wacko and done nothing.
He was a little
I think
bit
he's only
tight.
holding 1 though, isn't he?
I'm unsure of who owns this one on this Jack High Brown bowl.
Well, I think that's Rob's bowl.
Yep. Well, he's not far away here.
Rob Pirelli.
Is
don't
he
they,
round
mate?
the white or not?
Not quite.
Almost around the
But
white.
he doesn't have to worry about the white being in the way with the next one because he hasn't got one.
One shot, won the diff.
Okay, so it's getting pretty spooky. So the Gracemere boys have picked up one, so they're 10-11. But the big move is on the rink next door. Helensvale boys down 14-15 on the board, but appear to be 2 from the indication of the other skip from Jay Singh that they might be 2 down on this end as well. Okay, so Nathan just played his last bowl and ducked under the head, so he didn't change anything. But I think Jay Singh thinks could be holding 1 or 2 here as the skips are coming down to play their bowls. Anyway, that's the best we can tell you from where we're sitting.
There's one yellow ball nearly on top of the jack.
Well, I know. I saw that, and when Jay...
Yeah, oh, here we go.
You
On
sure
our little
about that?
angle on the screen.
So he has.
Can't get much closer than on top of the jack
Well,
than
no,
that.
you can't. Well, I've misread the call from Jay when he sort of put his hand in the air. I thought he was...
He might have been signalling the Doothra coming next.
Johnny Martin's dropped his first bowl. Not
that you'd be happy with.
No, he wouldn't be.
Coming to...
I'm tipping that Darren's going
14.
to take advantage of this because he has played quite well. But having said that, he's going to...
Get across.
He did too. So that'll be the shot, but neither player would be ready to sort of start a party, would they, after that? But they're,
We'll see how they correct.
Well, that's all what it's all about.
The white ball's pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah. Ooh. Well, that might have made some sort of difference, but...
That one gets hit up another 3 times, it'll be shot.
I reckon, you're right about that. I still don't think that is the shot. I think the white bowl.
White bowl will be shot.
Oh, you think so, wouldn't you?
He might even have a bit of a...
Well, he's got a pretty decent bowl here too. If he just slides off that, he's going to be closer than his first one. So we've now got 2.
We'd say it's nothing unbeatable.
Well, no. I mean, neither players really got shot, have they? Because you would expect that...
You'd expect Hawley had his half best to draw one inside that.
Quite a few bowls will end up being inside those 2, you would think.
We hope, or we'll have to live stream another game if they don't get inside those.
Well, Jimmy, once, like we said before, we've managed to be allocated the games as they've panned out so far that have been the closest. Oh, apart from Nathan and Singy next door, but that game has changed a few.
Got the jack
Yeah,
right
it's
back
gone
in
straight
the
back.
middle of the couple of yellow bowls.
He's gone straight back to Nathan's bowls.
He got it off the toucher into 2 of Lurch's bowls that are just
He did.
behind.
Now, Lurchy's having a look around.
Can't quite see the jack hidden by the blue bowl.
Well, I don't know whether Singy's paid both his because he won.
Yes.
He won the previous end, didn't he? So Andrew might have a free hit here if he can work his way into the head.
Well, he's got at least 1.
1 or 2 from what we can
probably
see.
2. Anyway, back to
Okay,
business.
so back to...
Is he past that one?
No, he's not. So Rob Pirelli, Capelli. Pirelli, he makes tyres. They make tyres, don't they? Pirelli. Rob Capelli. Sorry,
I don't know
Rob.
whether his name's Bridgestone or not.
You don't call him Rob Pirella. Rob Capelli.
It's got...
Now, I don't know whether that's going to make any difference. I'm suspecting that the Summit boys might still have 2. Now here comes Rob once again. I think he's got a better line on this one.
This one will be 3, if not right on it.
Oh, there you go. He did that 2 ends ago, didn't he, coming down this way, I think. So that's 2 and a...
3.
Well, 2 and a punch-up, isn't it? 2 and an argument.
Well, tight part of the game.
It is.
Bit after half-time, getting to the crunch part. We need a good second shot here from the Gracemere boys. They've scratched around with their first 4 bowls by being nowhere near it. They've got to produce something good with a real good second shot, hopefully hidden away.
Well, they
that
do
others
now.
Can't sit it.
Now, we can confirm that the Helensvale boys did win the previous end. We're just not too sure how many they scored. But Babe, Kirsty Glakely, Babe has just delivered the jack. So we know that Helensvale won the previous end. So that either puts them level or a margin, small margin in front. The Marlin Coast board I can see for David Spicer, if you're still with us, Dave.
17-8.
Well, there you go. 17-8 after 12 ends.
You want to borrow my glasses?
No. I'm trying to get away with living without them. It's not working very well. So I have trouble looking through binoculars.
Now, Johnny Martin needs one now. 4 down. 6th bowl that they've played.
Yes, he does.
Up till now they've got nothing and he's got to run into something.
Well, he does too, and he's going to.
And if he flops back up, he might get second shot.
Yes, I think well, you're right about that, Jimmy. Well, I think he's only...
Well, he's played 3 short ones. He wasn't going to be short 4 times.
No, he wasn't. He's only 1 down.
That eased the breath for Hawley. He'll be able to suck a bit of air in now.
Okay, so here comes Darren again, and if he clears that bunch,
which he wriggled up.
Yeah, but he's not going to count with that one. Previous winners of the state singles pairs, folks. 2006 was Wayne Lyons and Roger Connolly from Ferny Grove.
Yep.
2007 was Dean McWhinney and Graham Shillington, who were both at Tambourine Mountain back in those days. 2008 was Noel Ryan and Greg Stanton from Dolby.
Noel Ryan.
Yep.
He was originally a Bundaberg player. Now we come to the couple that I'm talking about that won a couple of times in the area.
They did. In 2009 was Peter Ward and
Billy the Greek.
Middlenios, Billy the Greek.
Wardy and Billy the Greek.
They won another one later on, and we'll talk about that in a moment. In the pairs in 2010 was Jeff and Ben Twist, father and son combination. So they're superstars wherever you go, isn't there?
I used to be able to say Mittenopoulos.
Middlenios.
Not quite, but I gave up after a while.
Oh, well, it's a little like Jessica down at Tweed Edge, isn't it?
No, everybody else can pronounce that one.
Well, I can't. You either know or you don't. But anyway, she's a lovely young girl and a great bowler. So you can call her anything you like when she gets winning.
You're going to have to learn a name if you're going to, because she'll be around for a while.
She's going to be around for a while.
Here comes the... he was thinking of rolling that bowl once.
You call her anything you like, just don't call her late for dinner. All right.
I don't know how Hawley thinks he's going to get the shot.
Oh, I don't know.
He's going to have to play something on his forehand.
He has.
But he's got 1 bowl out of...
Well, I think he's going to be skinny.
He's got 1 bowl out of not very many and not much to get.
He's skinny as a chook's face here.
He's got no backward. Wind's changed a bit.
Yes, it has. It's starting to blow things off the table. So now...
He'll still be looking to roll that orange bowl.
He will be, Rob. He's trying to... If he can get to that orange bowl and turn it back a couple of feet, he could make a few more.
If he gets to the white bowl, he'll make 2.
He will. And he's knocked it up and onward, and that'll be definitely 2. 2. No more bowls to come, so that's the Summit boys grabbing 2 more, which goes to 10 with 13. They're leading 13-10. There's still plenty of time left for either team, though, Jimmy, isn't there? They just played 13 hands. We've got 7 or 8 to go.
Yes, it hasn't even come to the desperation times when you start playing shots that you've got to invent.
Well, and you wouldn't normally play.
Here comes Lurt. Just let one fly.
I think he might have missed.
They collected that and put it on the bank.
I don't know.
can see a little bit of that head on the right-hand side of your screen, just past the
you can
right wing.
So if they're down, they're not down many, are they?
Two.
And they still haven't put up the number of shots they got on them.
Oh, they got to finish this end to do the second one.
Sure. So Darren's played his first bowl and he's about 6 foot through, I reckon. Johnny Martin's coming down now and he's not going to be as heavy, and he's clipping across very nicely to sit behind the jack, probably about 18 inches, 2 feet even. Okay, so Darren will be attempting to correct his weight, and I think he's done that. Yep.
And landed him.
Goodness me, who's this? Okay, so now Johnny Martin might have pulled up a bit short on that one, Jimmy, I think, don't you?
Yeah, he won't be too happy with that one.
Well, we've got quite a few people who are watching the program, and we appreciate your attendance and your ability to share it around amongst other folks, and we get the game of bowls exposed as far as we can. 173 I can see on my screen, but I think they come and go, don't they? There's a lot of people who join the program who don't sort of let you know they're there. Not that we care, so long as you're enjoying it. And reminding you again that tomorrow's pairs, or the pairs for men's and ladies, will continue tomorrow. And then on Wednesday and Thursday we've got the singles.
Got a bit of a yelp from the crowd.
What was that on?
Howie just sent one in between the kitty and the bowl on the next door rink.
Okay, so here comes Rob with his second bowl, and he's played this pretty well. That's a lovely shot. He hasn't managed to disturb anything. Well, I think that
appears to be going to play forehand still.
I think he's got 2 here.
He's got 2 shots.
Yeah.
And
Craig's
going to be short.
He's not going to be here, is he? No. Crikey, wouldn't be happy with that. Being 2 down, and
I think he probably should have been following the opposition down.
Well, he had an open hand, didn't he? He was probably a little concerned about.
We can be very wise from here.
Well, that's right. He might have been a bit concerned about John's bowl coming in, but that shouldn't worry. He'd be able to turn it up, you'd think.
Got to turn it up a fair way.
Yeah, he does.
It must be 3.5 feet.
I think so.
Anyway, so much shorter end than they've been playing.
It is, and Darren's coming in on his backhand.
It's 6 to 8 metres shorter than what they've been playing in that direction.
Mm-hmm. Darren's chucked it out, hoping the wind is going to bring it home, but it didn't do anything, did it? Ron Cronk says, "G'day, Jim."
Cronky.
We just get a side view of the head there, folks, and you give me an idea of, when we're talking short distances and how far through. There you go. That gives you a perfect idea.
I guess Cronky might still be at Bribey Island.
He'll soon tell you.
Played in quite a few games against Cronky.
Mick Wooten has said we're back again on how fast the greens are running. Well, this morning, Mick, they were timed at 15 seconds. That's this green we're on here now. And I suspect it's a little quicker Probably not that much quicker, but it's probably improved to half a second or so.
Round figures 15, 16, the two greens.
That'd be pretty right, but the green up top is running quicker than this one.
Yep, this one's down at 15, the top one's down at 16. Do you get it any better than that?
We reckon the top green's a bit quicker than 16, but there you go, Mick. That'll give you some idea. But they're very true, and you play
almost
the right
perfect,
time.
almost perfect conditions. Just
Yeah.
a little breeze and a green that runs 15 or 16.
Yep, you can't. There's no way known you'd worry about that.
Okay.
So Marlin Coast are leading 17-8, is it?
Yep.
I can see.
They're 17-8.
Yeah.
We've got the next game's 15-9 to Hamilton.
15-9.
And the Helensvale are behind by 17-16 on 14 ends against Jay Singh Toowoomba.
Yeah. So they've updated that board for us. With
Yep. The first bowl's coming down now on their rink. The Leeds whack one down about 18 inches behind.
James Wood says, "Go, Darren, bring it home for the summit." Well, he's played extremely well, James. The white bowls have been usually very close on most ends.
We'll see how he goes here. He's having a bit of a hope to sit at shot where he's a fraction too wide to be any good.
That's Rob, isn't it?
They've got one now, I'd say. Moving, could still be two, but
John, I think Gracemere are holding two, aren't they?
That's 1.5.
Yeah. The two orange bowls of John Martin, yeah. Okay, so
very uncharacteristic two lead. Oh, what a great shot!
Oh, how about that? Now that's Craig from.
And it's still one.
Gracemere, but it's minor. Yeah,
it's only one now.
Only
they
one.
had one or two before.
Well, yeah, we'll never know now, will we?
Very uncharacteristic on the next rink where Lurchie's bowled a 6-foot short one and a 6-foot past one.
Well, there you go. See.
Goes to show everybody can have one bad end.
Oh, well.
Geez, I heard that somewhere.
Yeah, he did. He's at ease. So now the score with the Gracemere boys have picked up one on that end, and if the score's updated, I think it is, it's 13-11 in favour of the Summit.
You going to have a pick?
No.
Oh, come on, you're back in the lead from the Summit. He's been
impressive. All right, okay.
He's been impressive.
All right, yeah, I'll run with that. That's a fair comment.
I'm back on a draw because
I
get the good price.
Are you really?
You get $26 about a draw, don't you?
Oh, only in the bloody soccer, don't you?
No, even money in the soccer.
Oh, is it? Okay, so just to, rub mud in my eye, Johnny Martin's come in with a good starter, but Darren's going to have something to say.
We've got Ronnie going again for some lady scores.
Oh, well, very good,
Send him
Ronnie.
out to work.
Go, Gracemere.
When he finishes his own work, he can do the work for here.
Yeah, he can do whatever he likes. Maxine says, go, Gracemere. So, now my man Darren, he's nearly gone fishing with this one.
Calling men leading 15-8.
Now, here's Johnny Martin coming in again. He's got...
Oh, you can get some of those across there, can you?
Got two pretty fair bowls there, but he's just dropped a
can
bit
see
short.
15-8.
Darren will be looking to picks up his first one. He's run a good 6 or 8 beat through.
Good bowls by Johnny Martin, but you can't trail it to him.
No, he's run through by poor Pete again at least.
One of those bowls that Johnny Martin just had to be that little 2 foot behind.
Right.
breeze must have picked up a little because that next door rink has just bowled 5 bowls a metre skinny across the rink from the right to left of the screen. If you can see a little bit of it on the screen there. They bowled most of their bowls more than a metre across, so it's a little bit of ruffling on that white flag just on the right hand side where the camera is, so maybe the wind's just picked up a bit there. Now it's dropped.
Yeah, there's a good shot from Craig. He's dropped in front, but they'd be holding 3, I would think, with those 3 bowls. So Rob Capelli is in a position where he needs to reduce the carnage as best he can. Not that it's
draw one within a metre, but he's
going to duck, is he, under the front?
Not quite up.
No, he's not. Okay, so the look at
18-8 over on the corner for a Marlin Coast viewers needing to know the score.
Oh, that was
Newell and Moore are still 15-9. And we'll go across one more and we'll see the Helensvale score at 17-16. Any second now.
That's it.
Even with that little bit of a white post in front, who put that in front of it? Wasn't in front of it before.
No.
Chainsaw won't get it down. You're going to have to hit it with a sledgehammer.
Robbie's got a bit of 4B2
Here he comes. Here he comes. He's not mucking round.
And he's
through to the keeper.
Well, he might end up asking Darren to play a similar sort of shot here.
I wasn't looking where Craig Hall's second bowl finished. Is it on the rink or that's it on the bottom of the screen?
Helena's asking whether we can get some lady scores. Well, we're all
set him
over it.
up.
He's already gone up there, Helena. That's our man who reports from the top green. So probably within less than 2 minutes, we'll have that answer for you. Some updated scores.
We can only catch one with the binoculars from here.
Yeah, we've got to look a fair distance. Through brick walls and around corners. But stand by because it won't be
Craig
too long.
wouldn't want to get the wrong bowl here.
Well, he might.
He did.
Well, he turned it
Oh,
out,
it wasn't
hasn't
Craig, sorry, it was Johnny Martin.
No, he turned it out.
I'd say he's still holding.
I would think so.
It would have been nicer to scratch around them.
Yeah, as I suspected, Rob has asked, and is he going to get something? Oh, well, he's opened it up and he hasn't sort of changed the count, has he?
I don't know whether that was a good result.
Well, no, it wasn't, but at least it's given an opportunity to at least work their way in through any one of those, I guess.
Well, let's stop Johnny Martin's idea of punching something up. He'll just draw or get in behind now, surely. Just get in behind.
Yeah,
just get Jack Eye. That's all he got.
Yeah, I don't know if he counts for that. But now Rob is calling Darren to play a similar sort of shot and hope that he can. And he's lining up for it. And here he goes. He's got the same sort of weight. He's gone a fraction wider, which won't hurt him. He's going to get that. He might bounce off something, and he
bounce off that, and bounce off that.
And that's what happens when you play good weight. Now, he wouldn't have been looking to get the shot in that fashion.
But he only got 2 shots.
Well, whatever. He wouldn't have been looking to get the shot in that fashion, but that's generally what can happen with the good weight. Okay, ladies and gents, just stand by while they're doing a changeover in this game. We'll quickly give you the ladies' update. You've got McCall and Meng are leading Broadbent and Perry 15-8 after 12 ends. Messina and Charman are leading Logan and Reed 11-9 after 12 ends. Now, Hofstetter and Campbell are leading Ackroyd and Studd 24-9 after 14 ends. And Ezzy and Parry are leading McAdam and
Here
McDonald.
goes one for Hawley.
24.
Oh, he put it onto his backward on the lip of the ditch.
So he did.
He sunk it, and I probably sunk his own backward. He went on
Izzy and Parry are leading McAdam and McDonald 24-6 after 14 ends.
The backward didn't go in the ditch,
So
but
I
it
hope
bounced
that
off it.
helps you, Helena, and gets you to continue to cheer on your favourite ladies in this event.
It's a good shot from Craig Hall, hit the kitty in the middle,
Yep,
went straight
I sort
onto
of
his backward, bounced onto the white one.
And I missed that a bit because...
That's the old story about I hit the kitty all day and it always went to the opposition.
It always went somewhere else.
Yeah, and the dog ate my homework. He tried to make two. Falls on its back, it mightn't be. It's a measure.
Righto, so where are we at?
Ooh, you wouldn't want to get his own. Suppose it's pretty hard to get his own.
I don't think he's going to be wide enough, is he?
He's tight. You are right, but he wouldn't want to get his own.
Oh,
Got
well,
shot
hang
out
on a
of
minute.
it. He
Hang
got
on.
shot out of it.
He did too.
It's not how, it's how many.
He did too. He just sort of clicked that bowl of Darren's back, didn't he? Just enough to sort of bring that other one into count. And now that'd change things around. What's Rob up to here?
He's got about draw grass if he gets there. No, he's up the middle.
He's going to get wrecked.
It was only one up to one down,
Yeah.
but it makes it one different instead of three. What's he looking at here? He's looking at measuring it. Appears to be in by half a bowl. No, they're not measuring it.
No, they've decided not to. So it's...
Wonder if they're going to try that short end again that they tried last time.
They could do. Johnny Martin and Craig Hall from Gracemere are 12 and
No, they're playing three-quarter.
Darren and Rob are 13. So there's only one difference and there's 5 ends to go. And... yeah.
The Marlin Coast boys got a bit of a toweling in the first game, I think. And they're 10 up in this game, which bring them back into a bit of contention.
There's
If that manages to stay approximately the same over the next 8 ends.
Mm-hmm. The scoreboard for the Helensvale and Toowoomba boys, it hasn't changed. It's stuck on 16-17. And the winners of this event, folks, back in 2011 was Jay Cross and Des Can Jr. And I have a belief that they went on to win the Australian title, didn't they, Jimmy?
I couldn't tell you that for sure.
No. I just had some thought in the back of my mind. Somebody might come on and tell us, but the singles and pairs, well, as far as I can remember, go on to play off in
They do in different years. A couple of times they didn't, but quite often they did. I know some that they did.
I don't
They were both fairly young that year.
Yeah, well, they
8
were.
years
and-
ago.
Well, they're still young now, but I don't think the fours ever went to Australian title,
No.
did they? They've never.
Fours. Oh well.
They've never gone any further. They didn't back in my day. But the singles and pairs have gone on to compete against the rest of the states to capture the Australian title. And I just, perhaps Jay or Desi or friends of theirs can just confirm that, but I had an idea that they went on to win the Australian title.
Could have quite easily.
And just one more before we come back to this game. Peter Ward and Bill Mittelinios, who won the pairs back
Billy
in...
the Greek.
2009. They came back and did it all over again in 2012.
Yep.
The same two boys. Amando Isgrove's watching. Amando, good on you, buddy.
Wendell.
Welcome aboard.
Nobody gets to call him Wendell these days.
Who's Wendell?
Oh, it was when he used to skip the team for Paradise Point in the Premier League.
Oh, okay. I've known Mando for quite a few years, when he used to be down here in on the coast, as you've just mentioned. And Johnny,
a top guy.
Oh, lovely bloke, isn't he, Mando?
Yeah, I'm waiting for him to take me on a fishing trip next time I'm up that way.
Right. Yeah, okay.
It's been a bit of a threat for a couple of times.
Right. So Johnny Martin, I think, is holding 2 here. And probably Craig's first bowl would probably count, or second bowl would count as well.
And
now what's happened here? He
just through.
Rob's just run through there. So it could be that they're
just a bit scratchy this end compared to where they've been. They've been a bit closer than that.
I'm suggesting that Gracemere could be holding 3 here. Would you think, Jimmy?
I'll always agree with you. Well, this time.
No, you won't. You're not paid to agree with me. We start agreeing
we'll
with
We'll go with 3 at the moment.
We start agreeing with one another. We haven't got a program.
How about we say that I don't think any of them will count at the moment?
Yeah, well, the way they've been playing, you wouldn't think so.
Although...
here comes Johnny again, but he's thrown this one out a bit wide, isn't he? But he might think that sooner or later someone's going to have a punch at it. But there's plenty of gaps, isn't there? So here's Darren once again. And we can't see, I don't know whether Darren likes this or not. Well, that's come to a pretty handy home. I'm not sure if that counts either, but it's in the right catchment area.
It's 4.5 foot behind. You're going to have to hit the kitty back a fair way for that
Well,
one.
you just never know. I mean, people start getting one close, and then they start playing a bit extra weight to punch it back, don't they?
We'll find out soon.
Okay, well, that's a pretty fair cover. So Darren's played his last bowl and he's out a little bit wider than I think he'd need.
Coming now.
Yeah, but not enough.
No.
So that, like you said a moment ago, Jimmy, this is probably a little less congested head than one that we've seen before.
It's the one when everybody fails.
Yeah.
When you can lose a number. You can easily lose a number because that's the old one when you cross over and they say you're only 5 down, skipper, you can draw it. And the skipper says, well, you blokes couldn't, how will I?
Yeah, what hope have I got?
You're much better drawers than me.
Okay.
I only play the fancy shots.
That's all right. That's all the big ones that I'm supposed to do. So Craig Hall will be looking to consolidate here because...
I don't know that he's out on that hand, is he?
Probably not. Well, if he gets a slide, he is. He's got the damn jack.
Now he's got
Well,
one.
now that's all right.
Now he's got one.
You sure about that?
He was a little bit narrow by a foot.
Yeah, well, I think that...
little edge on that orange ball
would have
helped
been great,
him.
yeah.
He'd have made 5.
But he's trailed that back, and
What's wrong with the white one being second shot?
Well, that's what that's what you said, and I'm agreeing with you. But I think he has.
Here he's trying to get to that same gap. Can't.
No. He's knocked his own bowl up, but that's not not his own bowl in opposition, but that doesn't count.
It might be 2 with that Jack Eye bowl. I'm unsure of how far short that
once
one
again,
is.
well, that's it. See, once again, it's that angle we're looking at, isn't it?
Well,
anyway, Craig's
Capelli sort of got one in his eye when he kicked that one across there for playing a weighted shot.
He let this one go, and he's underneath the front one, but
if he missed that, he's a chance.
But he didn't, did he?
Now they've really blocked up a runner on the forehand.
And now Brett Wilkie was back with us. He might be able to answer the question that I posed earlier. Did Jay Cross and Des Can, after they won this event in 2011, did they go on and win the Australian Championship? I'm saying that I think they did. Brett, if you have something you can add to that?
I do know that a couple of years later, when Hiawatha and Steve McNamee won the event, they went on and won it for Tantitha, who had already been defunct as a bowls club due to the Bundaberg floods 2 years in a row, or 11 and 13. They were completely flooded in 11, and no insurance company would insure them following that. So when it flooded halfway up the bar in 11, and it flooded over the top of the bar in 13. And
is it?
With no insurance, finished the club off completely.
Oh, my God.
That was in January, and they were still paid up members.
Yeah.
Went on to win this event, and then go on and win the Australian title in Victoria.
Okay.
I know that because Hiawatha, or Jason Andrew Arthur as his real name is.
Yeah, well, he was here. He's been here. I'm not sure if he's here today, but...
No, him and Steve McNamee were both... Well, Steve McNamee's a member here at the moment.
Yep. It was such a terrible shame because Tantitha had some terrific players. You've just mentioned Jason, and the bloke by the name of Kevin Bell. Did you mention Tim Smith?
Yeah, we mentioned them the other day.
And
Ringer Bell and Smithy.
And Darren McCracken.
Yep.
So, they were the boys that I've met from Tantitha, and they...
Well, they were all juniors that came through. Well, Steve McNamee wasn't a junior that came through.
Well, we're getting to that because Steve McNamee and Jason Andrew Arthur, they won this pairs event in 2013.
Yeah, that's the year they went on and won the Australian title.
Okay, well, that's great.
They played Nugget in the final on his own green at Broadbeach, actually.
Did they really?
Nugget was the favourite on his home track.
Yeah, and they knocked him off. And
much to the disgust of Barry.
And Daniel Stanton Cook and Darren McCracken, we've just mentioned the ex-Tantitha. He won it with in 2014 as a member of Across the Waves.
Yep, they ventured to Across the Waves after there was no Tantitha.
Well, they had to go somewhere, didn't they?
Yep.
They could have come down to Broadbeach if they would have welcomed them.
Darren McCracken and Daniel Stanton Cook won the Australian Junior Pairs title as well in the under-18s.
Yeah.
And we spoke about Charlie Hayes the other day.
We did.
Charlie Hayes played with both our juniors. With Darren McCracken, he won the Australian pair, 2-bowl pairs when they had one of those at Moama.
Right.
And then he won the Queensland pairs 2 or 3 times in a row with Alex Murtagh. Charlie being a star player and sneaking those juniors off the Bundaberg juniors.
Yeah, well, Charlie, he was a good bowler, wasn't he?
Talking about coming back the other day, would love to see Charlie back on the greens.
Now, we've got 18-11. Someone's asking the scores, and I'll give you all the men's that I can see. 18-11 is the score. Is that the Marlin boys?
That's Marlin Coast.
Marlin are in front 18-11 after 15 ends. And then we've got...
15-11 is the tightened up game with Hamilton.
15-11
in front.
Hamilton just 4 in front after 16 ends.
Oh, Howie's played a squealer.
Now, the score has been updated on the next rank. Nathan Rice and Andrew Howie against Forbesy and Jay Singh. Well, that's 18 all on 16 ends.
And Howie's just trailed the kitty 8 inches for 3.
Oh, okay. Well, that was something I couldn't see from where I am. And our televised game We've got Darren holding shot, and he's just played his second. The score's 13-all on our rink.
If he gets this one in a little bit further, it'll be handy.
And he has. So that'll be second shot. He's ended up jack high, but he's got two. So Christine played it. We've given you the results on all the men's rinks as we can see them from our vantage point. And we understand that, well, they're all getting down towards, they're all at the 16, 17, 18 end part of the pointy end of each match. And
crunch time in this game, 17 ends, 13 all.
Yes, it is. And we might be able to give you another update of the ladies as soon as we can before the ladies actually finish, because they're all pretty much the same number of ends as the men are. What year did we start having junior titles, says Maxine? I cannot really remember young people playing bowls until about 20 years ago.
Well, Kelvin and Steve Glasson played the final in their year. That would have been 88.
Well, that's quite a few more than 20 years ago, isn't it?
Well, they're both 47, I think, now.
Yeah, now
they were under 18 then, so we call it 30 years ago.
Yeah, Robbie's come up with the scores in the other men's games that we've just given them to you, but he's got them on screen there for you. Oh, well. Okay, so
we've got a 13 all and 18 all, and the other two games are tightening up.
Yes, they are. Now we've
Lurch clears this bowl. He's going to be.
Oh, he did. He got a snicker off it. Did he run up enough?
He dropped a foot short.
I don't know. Andrew applauded it, but I'm not
down.
sure if
he's got four.
Helensvale really?
Holding four at the moment.
And they're all Lurch's bowls, I think.
They're all in there.
Yep. 18 all it is. We can see on the screen there after 16 ends.
We need Johnny Martin to play a good one now.
Yeah, because
your prediction's getting closer to the truth.
Well, Darren's holding two, and the skips really haven't added to the program at all. But anyway, we'll see what happens here because. Yeah.
Whoops, I nearly said something then.
Oops, we don't say anything don't say anything your mother wouldn't like.
Like that one.
He set that up, but I don't think he set it up enough. So Darren has got an open crack at this on the forehand. He's already played two on his hand. And so long as he can escape contact with the wing bowl, he's going to be very, very close, you would think. He's certainly out there. He's coming home now, and I think his mate here, Rob's getting a bit excited. In fact,
depends how far he touches it.
Well, it doesn't really matter because that'll make three.
We've got three icicles.
I would think, and there once again, this is the man I've been telling you about, ladies and gentlemen. As far as I'm concerned, he's been the man of the match up to date. But it's still got a fair way to go. Now, Johnny Martin, what's he do here? You know him pretty well. Jimmy, what's he going to do?
He's going to close his eyes and send one up.
Is he really? Well,
just has to miss that front one and he's close.
He is indeed. And you picked it. You told him what he was going to do. Oh, no. What's happened here?
I nearly knocked my headphones off then.
Yeah, but you did that with a
I was leaning over sideways.
Now, I think he might be holding three here.
Not sure who the brown bowl is.
Yeah, I think that belongs to...
we were doing scores when that one came down.
I think that belongs to Craig, isn't it? Isn't that Craig's bowl?
Colin Bray said something. I know a Colin Bray, but I think it's a different one.
Yeah. Could you please repeat the Helensvale score? Well,
18 all.
It's 18 all on 16 ends.
And They're holding quite a few.
Well, they were, but I don't know whose bowl that is in front now.
No, that's Howie's.
It's Towie's. Okay, well, it looks as though Helen's bowl
Holding a heap. There's
are
one to come.
holding at least 2 or 3, we think.
We think that he's not going to be short.
No, this is Jay Singh, I believe.
That's him.
Now have a look at
and
just
here it
coming
comes.
back. He's let this one go, but
It's
he's
gone.
No, it isn't.
Got the
Oh,
kitty.
He's got the front bowl and Jack.
Lurch hasn't moved.
No, Lurch is. I think.
Don't
Lurch,
think he was impressed.
I think he's ready to punch this bloke in the face.
I don't know that Lurch is going to do
I
that.
don't think he would. But listen, come back to have a look what my man Darren Stanley's done here.
He's drawn it. Well, we weren't looking.
Well,
What sort of commentator are you?
I was. I was.
What sort of commentator are you? Here
Yeah,
comes
I'm pretty-
Hawley looking for the jack.
Yeah, and he's just gonna
Looking for it.
miss it. So now, this is getting to the spooky point now,
Look.
because Rob Capelli has got a bit of an open crack here, hasn't he? Now, Andrew Howie, he's got to try and...
He's a bit tight. I'm talking about
Oh, right.
Capelli.
Yeah.
Talking about the proper game now instead of watching the other game.
Okay, now the crowd have gone off their nut because...
Singh's still got a bowl to play.
Yeah,
So
oh, okay. So what did Andrew do with these?
just missed. And I would say they're 2 down, 1 to come, possibly 3 down. From my little gap between the players here.
Right. Okay, so now here comes...
Just hit that a long
somebody.
way.
No, he's not going to.
In
Now,
fact, you have to hit it about 4 times to get it up.
he would. Now, Rob Capelli's got a bit of a more difficult path.
He's got a free shot to draw one within 2.5 feet.
Well, he has, and he's got to be around that last bowl of Craig's, you would expect. He's not going to be, and I
could
don't
rub
think...
up. No, he can't.
He's got
Can't
the
rub
weight.
up if
No,
you
he
haven't got
can't.
the weight.
You haven't got enough to rub with.
We'd say there's one the difference.
Okay, so that's another shot to the Summit.
3 ends to go.
That's right, and the Summit boys are now taking a slender lead.
Can't
Well,
get much slender.
Or have they?
Summit boys have taken a slender lead, the most slender you can have.
Well, we got the score on the wrong... Oh, no, we haven't.
Score's right. The boss
Just
doesn't do
give
things
me a break.
wrong.
Don't give me a break, will you?
What, with a neck or an arm? Or
Yeah, so...
Howie's last bowl got the kitty
He's
and
killed it. He's killed it.
Could have been 4 down.
He had nothing to hit there from what we could see on our angle.
No, he had half a jack.
Well, you hit that half, mate. The other half will go with it.
That's a Bert Palm, famous old Bert Palm line. Just see the jack, only see half of it.
Okay, well, Cole, that fills you in on the... They're going to replay that one. It's 18 all on 16 ends. And Andrew Howie has just destroyed what...
Well, they were 4 up,
They ended up
2
going
down,
2
4 up, 4 down, dead end. Why
Dead
wouldn't
end.
it be dead? There's a fair bit of
That's it.
action happening in that game at 18 all.
Absolutely. And Darren Stanley has played and ended up...
Johnny
Well,
Martin has to
wide.
come round
He's
him.
gotta
He's
get
got enough
around him.
whooshka.
Well, he's around him okay. And I think that'll probably be the shot as
Hawley was
Holly was sort of,
a
he's...
big whiting. That
Yeah, that's a big fish, isn't it? So now Darren's back in again, and he's underneath his first bowl, and this looks pretty handy to me.
Yeah, but you're cheering for him, you see.
No, I'm not.
You got money on
I'm
him.
not cheering for anybody. I love to see good
You're
bowls.
an impartial commentator with money on the
No,
ride on this
don't,
game.
mate. If there's any... I get accused of all sorts of crap. This sort of caper, I don't know what I've done wrong. I just love the game. And now there's Johnny's come back in there, and I think he might be holding a couple here.
Couple, both a yard away.
Yeah, and he's got a spring in his
At least
step
a
there.
yard, probably a metre. Think someone's going to beat those two.
Yeah, well, that's right. I mean, but nothing near a shot at the moment, is there? So in comes Rob on his forehand. He'll be looking at just trying to dribble under that pile of Darren's, and he might just dribble a bit too far.
Not far, but
And he's got lovely weight. He's ended up being pretty well jack level.
that'll just about be shot that far away.
I think you're right.
How do you blokes wear these thing on your ears all the time? You got smaller heads than me.
Well,
They're beaten.
no,
Your ears been belted in when you were boxing.
No, but
Look out for this one.
But me missus has had a fair crack at me.
Stand back the front.
What?
That thing there goes like that, so you can actually hear from.
Now try it.
Now I can hear him both sides.
Well, that's what's supposed to happen.
Oh, I'll have to turn it down now.
Now, what's Rob?
He's good answer.
Rob? He's played a great shot. He just got to slip up that front one of Craig's. So they're certainly holding one. Could be even three even.
It's a bit confusing, I guess, for the Toowoomba people having a C Hall playing here, because Cole Hall's been one of their leading players for 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
Was known as the Hall of Fame at one stage.
Oh, was he?
When they won the State Fours here. State Fours 1 year. But I think he's West Toowoomba. I think he's West Toowoomba, Cole. And there's not that many sea halls around the place, but
No.
Craig being one of the leading players up in our zone.
Of course.
We got a Colin from down here and a Craig from up there.
Now, I've just got, for those of you, keeping in mind that the ladies are on a different rink and they're probably at the same stage as what the men's are, and having said that, they were around the 17, 18 ends area. Ronnie's just going upstairs.
Your man played a squealer, touched on it,
Did he?
could have the shot.
Okay. So Ronnie's just gone upstairs for all you folks wanting to know the scores from the ladies, and we do too, naturally. So he should be back shortly with an update there, which will please you all, hopefully.
I'm guessing Gracemere's still holding, and this is in the area.
Angus Miller says, is Capelli wearing Nike joggers? Is he? I think he might be. Something we haven't noticed. Goodness me.
He might be getting more money.
People are getting very picky, aren't they? He's got Nike joggers on.
Oh, well,
No,
Tiger Woods wears them.
I think they make bowl shoes, don't they?
Here he
Nike?
comes for 2 down.
That's a terrible shame.
That was your money being
I
pressurised.
know, I know.
He'd drawn one within...
Kane Reeves has come on and said, bloody unreal. Well, good on you, Kane. I don't know what you're referring to, but whatever it is, it sounds pretty good.
the
Sam Clough is watching. Good afternoon, Sammy. Okay, so now what's going to happen here? Oh, okay, so now this is getting pretty spooky for...
Your money's under a bit of pressure here.
well, this is getting pretty down to the pointy end here, because I think John and Craig are holding from Gracemere and probably holding certainly 3, could be 4 even.
3 for sure. There's a lot of clapping in the background
Well,
here from the
that's it.
Toowoomba supporters. So the one would think that the Toowoomba have converted the head against Helensvale. Strangely enough, the locals have the controlling hand on supporters.
Yeah. Now, Rob Capelli's going to have to try and cut the count down
Just over. Not much over.
here. Well, there's a chance he might have...
It's only 3 now for
Well,
sure.
I think he's cut out the back orange one, hasn't he? The back bowl of
If it
John.
was in before, look, the white one might beat it anyway, but he has got somewhere near it.
Yeah, I think he's probably still 3 down, but here comes
We are playing
Craig.
N19.
the 1910s, and Craig Craig is he's drifting through. Probably not going to count with that one. Now Rob had a pretty good line with his first, well his third bowl. He's just going to try and adjust his weight a bit so that he can.
The bowl too wide.
Yeah, it appears to be. He's more than the bowl too wide, I think. He had a lovely weight too, didn't he? Look at that. He brings that back in properly. He sits that orange bowl and falls down and gets shot, but it didn't happen. I think you wish that Kane Reeves is saying go to Toowoomba. Well, they're still very much alive, Kane, because
this one's here. It'll be 4.
well, that's got to be very closely looked at, isn't it?
No, you just 4 and pick up the kidney.
There's 1, 2, 3 come out for 1, 2, 3.
Johnny Martin's not bending down to measure it.
He's well. Johnny's they've already taken 3 out, so.
In by a bowl.
4 shots. Okay, 4 to Gracemere. So now that started something exciting. So that's the 19th end, ladies and gentlemen, and Gracemere have now gone to a lead of 17 to 14, and we have 2 ends to go. So it's still anybody's game. Okay, so the Marlin, I can see Marlin Coast.
That's tightened up
Actually,
big time.
they've come back a bit, the other boys, haven't they? I can't quite get your full picture on that. But on the next rank, Newell and Moore are 16 leading Fisher and Williams 12 after 18 ends. And the score over at Helensvale in the other game between Helensvale and the Toowoomba boys is 18 all on 16. Now there's been a killed end, and there's been a lengthy head investigation on the very next end with the skip, so I can't update that for you either. Okay, so on the 20th end of the game we're televising. Darren Stanley, I believe, has got the shot, but Johnny.
They asked about the shoes. Here we go. There's the shoe they're talking about.
There's the shoes. Now, have a look with the technology that this Robbie Allen can come up with. Are they Nike?
Yeah, they're Nike.
Now, they're not. They've got ripples in the soles.
No, they're bowl shoes.
Are they?
That's only just the edge.
Okay, so in answer to our very observant gentleman that came on before,
They're Nike bowl shoes.
they're Nike bowl shoes.
Yep.
That Kane Reeves, have a look. Get him off the pitch.
We might have to re-shoe him before he goes in the
Well,
barrier.
mate, we might have him, but
Hasn't thrown any shoes.
we might need a farrier to check out what he's wearing. Well,
That's one of your old jobs, wasn't it? Shoeing horses.
no, I told a donkey to nick off.
That's it. Didn't he tell that one the other night, Rob?
You ever shoot a horse? No,
No, but he told the donkey.
told a donkey to nick off. Shoe horsey.
Shut up.
Well, you started it, then you blame me. Okay, so go to Toowoomba. Yeah, well, they're still well and truly in the mix here. They haven't put a
We'll
score
see
up.
what the score goes.
I don't think any one of them can count
I'd say
after
they got
18.
two. They got something.
Well, now he's gone. Let me just have a look at this. The score
2018, 2 in front, Helensvale.
20-18 after 17 ends. Rice and Howie leading. So that
Male and Coast games 18-16's tightened up big time.
Well, they've come back from nowhere, the other boys, because they were down about 16-9, weren't they?
Yep.
On stage.
Needs a good shot here from... Oh, and he got it off the sideboard.
Andrew Burnside is saying that he used to shoe horses at the Wairima stud. Well, we did too.
Used to shoo them off the vegetable patch anyway.
Come around and they want to bite you, say shoe horsey.
Stop it. Get back onto the bowls.
Okay. All right, so...
here he comes. He's playing a little bit of weight.
Oh, he might have the jack here.
A little bit of weight. How much is a little bit?
Oh, he's got it. Well, I don't know about a little bit, but he got it. Rob Capelli's gone into overdrive here because he needed to do something. He's one down, but he's not now. He's just not too far away.
He's driving that camera pretty good.
Oh, he's brilliant. Robbie, have a look at him go here with all of this now. This is all absolutely controlled from a panel inside the clubhouse. You wouldn't think this could happen.
Well, we don't want you to do it.
No, mate, I get dizzy just trying to bloody pick up a camera, let alone trying to do what he's doing.
Well, laying those cables out is pretty hard work. I watched.
Andrew Burnside, we've already mentioned you, Andrew, and welcome aboard. He's watching from the Catherine Bowls Club in the Northern Territory. Hey? That's a fair bloody hike, isn't it? Now look at this. Have a look what Johnny Martin's done. He's drawn a bloody decent shot here, very close to... I don't know how far away the toucher is, do you?
Yeah, about 4 or 5 feet at least.
Okay, well that's probably the shot then.
It's certainly the
Johnny
shot.
Martin's drawn to the ditch.
Geez, I wish I had some more on that bet with you.
Oh my God. Top shot, buddy, says Trent. He's back with us.
Yeah, he's trying.
Oh, he did try too, Darren. Okay, Darren Stanley has he tried his backside off to get that shot there. He just dropped a little bit short.
Well, he played forehand, so it's it's closer than the number in the ditch.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you can.
Oh, you can see it on the other camera.
Okay. Now here comes Johnny again. Have a look at this. Oh, except the crowd have gone burlesque.
No, glad he didn't cut his hair before the game.
The crowd have gone off their collective nuts. He's drawn another one. Now, this is the hardest shot in the book, isn't it? Trying to draw to the ditch after the kiddies moved 15 feet. What a beauty. Yeah, see, look, it's way over here.
Yep.
So I'm tipping that the Gracemere boys are very happy with that because they've got 2 shots.
Put a bit of a cat amongst the pigeons because if they don't draw it, there'll be 5 the difference playing the last end.
Go on the last end. Well, that's where the bloody cream comes to the top, isn't it? And you suggested that. You suggested that, my friend. That's exactly what's happened.
Well, I knew if they could beat Nick Gale and Keith Wally that could produce what they produced then, they're going to beat somebody in this tournament.
Kane Reeves is asking, hey, fellas, can I watch these matches anywhere else?
If you go somewhere else, you can still watch them.
Of course you can. You can go anywhere you like.
You can watch them on Facebook once it's finished. It's going to be available on Facebook right through.
Yep. Yeah. Once you can watch it anywhere you like on Facebook. From the Gold Coast Tweed District Bowls Association site. Website.
Facebook site
as well as the website. Johnny is Robbie's telling us. And they have they're permanently saved onto a special video collection area, and I think they go back 18 months, don't they?
They go back as long as we started. Plus, we're going to have them on a YouTube channel. So.
Okay, and they go back at least 18 months. That's the videos.
Here he comes. Where's he going? Oops! Shook the camera, that one.
Did he? So there's a whole bunch of matches that are important games that and different venues around.
Hawley's got to
around the
improve a
nation.
bit on his first one here. And dropped 2 metres short of where he needed to be.
Can we get a glimpse of what's happening over there on that Helensvale sort of thing? I think that Helensvale might be 1 or 2 down on that adjacent rink.
Let's see what happens here. He's going again. Here he goes.
Yep.
He's got to get 2 bowls.
What's he done? Oh, he's gone through the hole.
He had to catch an edge of that bowl. He was so close to getting them both. It was a 5-shot turnaround.
Yes, it was. And now
5 the difference last end.
yeah, well, that's made it tough now. That's made it tough now, Jimmy, isn't it? Because, in order to win the game, they've got to get a 6, which, well, we haven't seen anything like that. This could possibly happen so far.
No.
Anyway. Yeah, Kane, the collection point is on the Gold Coast District Tweed Bowls website, not necessarily the Facebook. You go to the website and there's a...
Facebook as well.
Oh, yeah. But I think all the past matches are easily assessed, and you can watch a game from wherever in the past probably 18 months.
Well, Johnny Martin just said put 5 inside that.
Yeah, well, that's it, yeah. Stick that in your pipe and smoke it, he said. But Darren Stanley, not to be outdone, he's trying to get 1 there at least. Well, that's interesting.
He's been thereabouts all the time.
He has. But the Leeds have had a great tussle, though, haven't they, Jimmy? They've really battled hard against one another all day. And here's Johnny Martin. He said, well, listen, this is getting too close now for us to throw it away. So I'm just going to play 2 crackers here, and that's exactly what he's done.
That's 4 in a row, or 4 in concussion.
That's 6 when you count the previous, because he had 2 fabulous shots earlier on, didn't he? And then he drew 2 to the ditch, and then 2 more. So he's had 6.
Several in concussion.
That's right.
Very nice shot.
Well, the Gracemere...
In a normal game of bowls, that was a very nice reply from the white bowl.
Johnny Lennon, who we understand will be here and for the singles, he's just said go Gracemere. Well, I think that without being too presumptive, I think you might find that the Gracemere boys are starting to take the cork out of the champagne bottle.
No, we haven't had any fat ladies around.
No, you haven't? No. All right. Now, look, now he's gone out of the way of the camera.
We'll easy kill this one and see what happens next.
Well, so the interesting side to this particular match is that both of these teams lost their first game, didn't they?
Keeps one of them alive.
Well, of course it does.
Who's playing Nanango?
Nanango, Josh Fisher and Dave Williams.
2. They're down 16-12.
They're down 16-12.
But they were down a lot
The
more than that.
Nanango question is answered.
They were down a lot more than that. They've come back.
Yeah. Who won the Nanango boys? Well, it doesn't.
They've got a score to go on that 16-12, so
Yeah.
it's 2 ends to go and it's 3 or less behind.
Yeah. Nanango, they actually were down quite a bit early, weren't they? I think they were down 14-6 or 7 or something. They've certainly come back from there. But getting back to our televised game, which is, and we don't like to desert the game we've been asked to televise. There's so much going on around here, we can't help ourselves. So now Gracemere and Johnny Martin, more importantly, holding 2 lovely shots here. So I don't know that Rob Capelli's got much option but to smack this as best he can.
Yes, it's hard enough to bounce it
off. I think if that had been me, I'd have been using a bit more weight than that. because he needs to. Well, he's got somehow he's got to pick up 5 to tie.
If he had just cracked an egg on that, they came back to they still got 4 bowls to draw forward to make 6. So
Yeah, okay. Well, about your superior judgment.
That's what he was playing, just to bump it.
Yeah.
back to the 2 bowls there.
What about the fat men? Who are they talking about there? The fat men. Okay, so I think what have they done here? They're replaying the end, are they? And then going.
Killed an end with Marlin Coast game.
Well, have a look at this. Johnny Martin's changed his hand. He's nearly drawn another one on the backhand side this time.
But he wanted to be behind and he didn't get there.
He didn't get there. Darren Stanley's coming in with reaching kind of weight, but he's going to miss the head and get in behind there. So it's becoming more important that they actually contact the head now, isn't it?
Gee, commentating's a very hard job with no lubricated tonsils. My voice is sort of going on me.
Well, we can fix that for you because they do have water here, Jimmy, I understand. Not that I've ever drunk that, but...
Well, he's got to play it now.
Here comes Darren. He's certainly tighter with his line, and they're looking at this a bit. And he's going to scrub his way through there, and he's going to get shot, but I don't think that Johnny and Craig are really going to be that interested in.
Got to get rid of that orange bloke and move the kitty not very far.
Well, that's ideally what's got to happen, but
I think it's come to the kill equation all the same.
Well, if he gets rid of that orange bowl and stays there, he could end up with probably 5 and a draw, couldn't he? Depending on what happened with the other bowl. But at least...
you haven't counted the 2 in all his hands.
Well, I know that, but at least Darren has now given him an opportunity to at least draw, we think. But Hawley's not having any part of that.
No.
He's saying, well, you can forget all about the situation about getting rid of my yellow orange bowl.
And he's made it pretty hard to kill
He
now.
sure has. He said, have a look at that. Now what are you going to do? Now they're absolutely clapping their...
Toowoomba clapper.
They're clapping their heads off next door in the Helensvale game because I think the Toowoomba fellas have just played something out of the box. We can't see because I've got a dirty great big wall in front of me.
You can see on your screen there.
Yeah, well, I'm looking over here, but it's too hard to see what's happening. Okay, so we're getting down to the end of the proceedings here, folks, and it's certainly looking as though the Gracemere boys are going to capture their first win of the tournament.
Got one more charge at it.
And Rob Capelli has got 1 bullet left, and he needs a fair income miracle.
Nobody from Toowoomba clapped then. It was all Helensvale clapping.
Oh, okay. Now, Rob Capelli, this is his last bowl. He's sort of going to get something
Got
off
the
this.
jack.
What's he done?
Got
He's
the jack
killed
and
it.
killed it.
He killed it. Well, what do you know? This game has all twists and turns, doesn't it? You would never have thought.
Never looked like missing.
Well, he didn't actually when he let it go, and it's probably, if you ask the man what he was trying to do, I'll guarantee you that's what he'll tell you. I'm trying to get something off, because the only way he could get it with the weight he was using. I'll back it in, that's exactly what he was trying to do.
Half of that bowl was one of his opportunities.
And Johnny's, he said, I'm going to punch this bloke in the...
No, he said, I'll try and stop him getting 6.
I'm going to knock this bloke out after the game. Fancy doing that to us. Anyway, so the boys from
I
the
don't
summit.
think he said that at all.
Well, he probably didn't. He's a nice bloke, I'm sure. He looks a bit like Brian. What's his name?
Brian, what's his name?
Yeah.
It reminds me of...
No, Rod Stewart with that hairstyle. That's the one I'm thinking of. You take his hat off and he's dead set ring up for Rod Stewart.
Can I have whatever he's on after we've finished?
What?
Whatever.
I'm thinking of...
Let me suggest Johnny Martin and Rod Stewart have never came into the same equation. I've known him for longer than you.
Righto, okay. All right, now...
I think Johnny Martin will be thrilled with that description.
Now, here's... now, no one's got shot here at this stage. And John is coming down on his backhand, is he?
Forehand, same as he played his first
Oh,
one.
okay,
Just
well,
a yard
I
short.
wasn't watching that. You were taking the,
He was just a yard short with his first one.
you were taking the mickey out of me. All right, well, I'm reckoning that's the shot, Jimmy, don't you?
That's the shot.
That's the shot. Now, and Darren's coming back on his backhand and he's gone out there very nicely. Here he comes, sailing home. And he's looking...
Marion have hit the front against the Marlin Coast after being lagging all game.
Well,
3 ends
well,
to go,
there you
they're
go.
one in front.
There you go. There's somebody was asking about that. So if you're still on board, you've just got your answer. Well, I don't know who's got shot here. Rod Stewart just walked across the front of the screen. I think he's sailing. Nearly time for your refreshment break, Jim, says Peter Blackburn.
Thank you, Blackie.
Anyway, look, this is having a lot of fun here. But the serious business is still at hand, and we certainly won't be forgetting any of that.
Howie drew one within 2 inches with
Did
his
he
last
really?
bowl,
Did he?
as you would hope him to do if you were cheering for
Well, now they've played 19 ends,
3 that if.
and it's 22-19 in favour of Nathan Rice and Andrew Howie over Forbesy and Jay Singh. So that game's had everything, hasn't it?
It's been a pretty hot game.
Except a streaker. We haven't seen that in bowls for a while.
You're going to nominate.
Well, no. It's not a pretty sight.
Stick to the commentary, would you?
Oh, that way. Okay. I'm being chastised again.
The boss isn't here. You can't get away with everything.
No. He watches the bloody replay and then he lets me have it with both barrels while he...
Another roll you need. Another.
well, I think that's got to be shot.
Certainly shot.
Yeah, that's
Draw.
at least one to... Well, I'm tipping they might have more than one.
They've got to draw 5 inside that.
Well, they're not going to, are they? Well, what's Rob done here? He's there and about. Oh, he's not going to be wide enough. Okay, so this
Won't trouble the score on that one.
No, indeed not. So all the games have been like some of them spread out a bit earlier on, but
Hamilton with 10 in front. They're 5 in front playing the last end now. So
yeah, so the teams that were down early have really bounced back, and I'm talking in terms of the Marlin Coast were leading quite comfortably, weren't they?
Yep. And the Nanango team was down heavily against Hamilton.
Yep. And let's not forget that the Helensvale boys were down 9-0 against the Toowoomba fellows.
Yeah, they had 2 5s at different times.
Yeah, now it looks to me as though Nathan Rice could be holding one shot on the rink next. next door. But let's get back to this one and see
Your
what...
man with the white bowls is
Here
close.
he comes again with his eye hanging out, and nothing happened. He got a click and ran across, and I think there's still one down. Now somebody can open the head on the Helensvale
Yep,
Toowoomba
Toowoomba
game.
3 down, sent one up, smacked the kitty.
And
Still on the rink, but there's nothing within 15 feet.
no, there
There will be something soon as Howie's let his next one go.
Okay, so Andrew Howie's creeping up on the head,
Johnny Martin's trying to get back into the swim here.
and he's come back inside the peg line, so that's got to be shot. Nathan's clapped that one, but he's still 2 or 3 feet off the jack to the left.
Here we go. 2
Okay.
shots. He's going to have to play something spectacular here now. Johnny Martin's drawn one 6 inches short.
Well, he's done that for the last 4 or 5 ends, which is
He gets on the inside of that one, he has a chance.
he's not going to change anything, I don't think, is he? No. Well, that's 2 shots to now. The skips have got their bowls to play, and then it's pretty much shake hands. So on the rink next door, on rink 3, as we look at it through the window.
There's 8 bowls to come yet.
Yeah, there is. There's still a few. But it looks as though Helensvale are holding just the one. But there's still plenty of room on what would be regarded as either hand to get something. And the way these guys have been playing, well, I think they're certain to do that now. Ricey's come up.
He's a bit quick.
He is too. He's going to run through. He's gone in between the kitty and Andrew's bowl, but he's still stayed on the green. This might not be so bad. Okay, so let's come back to our televised match. And Craig's having a bit of a gig at this, and he's trying to, and he's done it. He's tipped that white bowl
19-18. 21-18.
out of the way. So, having done what he just did, puts further pressure on Rob Capelli, because I'm suggesting he could be
Here we go.
3 or 4 down, but he's probably not now.
Nearly went onto the jack.
Oh, he did too. I reckon he might still be at least a couple down, 1 or 2, maybe 3.
It's not, the number doesn't matter so much.
No, it doesn't. It really does. He's going to get 5 to draw, and I can't see him doing it, can you?
That one caught. Oh, you can tell by the clapping in the background that Toowoomba drew the shot.
Toowoomba have got the shot on the rink there. So it's 20, as we can see, it's 22-19, was it? 22-19.
Yep.
And they're on the 20th end.
We've got a score to go on in the Marlin Coast game.
Mm-hmm.
And Marion have got another 2 shots to go in front, 21-18. 2 ends to play. 2 ends to play. The team that's steaming home from a fair way behind to be 3 in front.
Okay, now here comes Rob Capelli with his last bowl.
He had to trail a kitty into a nest without...
And it's...
He's not far off doing...
Oh, he's just clipped that one. Oh, I think he's 1 down. Okay, so that's shake hands time, and it's 20 shots to 14 to the Gracemere team from Central Queensland. It's John Martin and Craig Hall. Congratulations, boys. They're remembering that both these teams lost their early morning game this morning, so that's the first win for them. And Darren Stanley and Rob Capelli from the Summit, representing Southern Downs, have still yet to win a match, and will probably not be able to figure in, certainly in the major playoff.
They do play...
They have another game to go, of course.
They do play an easy team in the last.
Do they?
Yeah, Nathan Rice and Andrew
Okay.
Howie.
Well, there you go, what I just said. Great job, Gracemere boys, says Tim Arnold. Done your club proud. Now, We're going to keep going for a little while, Robbie.
We're over here. We've got the back of Lurch.
Okay.
Toowoomba holding one.
Okay, the magic of Robbie Allen technology has managed to swing that camera around sufficiently enough to capture at least something
Jay Singh just bowled one Jack High.
more watchable. Did we get the ladies' results come through? Oh, okay. Well, this is the latest we can give you. The girls are very close to finishing, so... The girls are fairly close to finishing up on the top rink, top green. So Broadbent and Perry are 9, McCall and Meng are 17. That's after 16 ends. Logan and
Howie for this
okay.
bowl.
Well, what's this one? What's he got?
He's got the one next door to it.
Which is Lurch. He might still only be one down. Logan and Reed are 13, and Messina and Charman are 19. And they appear to have only played 14 ends, so something's happened up there. Ackroyd and Studd are 16. Hofstetter and Campbell are 28, and they've played 18 ends. And McAdam and McDonald are 11. Ezzy and Parry are 24, and they've played 16 ends. Now, it's understandable to realise that they appear to be a little bit behind the number of ends played down here because the greens are running quicker up the top.
They mightn't have been, Ronnie mightn't have updated the ends.
Well, that's true.
He,
But they're a few ends behind.
These guys have killed ends.
Yep.
The ladies ain't killed.
Oh, I'm only just making a suggestion. Sorry, well, I didn't mean to.
I think Ronnie said the Bundaberg ladies have won, and that's only got 18 ends written on the card, so they may be over from...
In answer to your question, Mick Wooden, the answer is yes. Scott Howell and Jeff Key, they're all saying well done, Hawley and Johnny. Well, that can be echoed. So the final score was 20-14 there, folks, as you can see.
Jay Singh somewhere near making 2 shots here. He's a little bit quick.
Or is he?
He's a little bit...
He's just gone
quick
through that little gap. Okay, so...
2 ends to play, 2 the
Okay,
difference.
one down. The one down and...
Keeps Johnny Martin and Craig Hall's hopes of something a little bit alive.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it sure does, Jimmy. And you know,
because if Helensvale win the game, it'll go into tomorrow. Whoever wins
it will.
the other game will play off for a bronze
for
medal.
a bronze medal. Yeah, that's for sure.
And if the others get up and beat Helensvale, they're 2 behind now. It might keep the possibility of even winning the game, winning the section alive.
So the bottom scenario is the Helensvale are 2 in front.
2 ends to go.
With only one end, isn't it? They haven't put that.
Oh, okay, it's only one end.
Yeah, they didn't put that up on the board. It's 22-20 after 20.
Okay.
So this is the last end, and Helensvale at its point of time are 2 shots in front.
Yep.
Now we're going to try and do some magical switcheroo here and try and get you with Robbie Allen's magic, whatever he does. You're going to try and swing that camera around a bit for us.
Letcher's body language is thinking it's pretty good.
What happened there?
Here we are. We're up on. We've reversed the camera.
We're not exactly in line, but it's a damn good effort, isn't it, to get as close as what he's done.
You could watch from that angle. If you could get a view from that angle where you were sitting, you'd be pretty happy.
We've got
Letcher's across the head again. How far?
We've got Judy Ricks come on and said, keep it going, Jean Messina and Denise Charman. At the present, last score they were 6 ahead, Tropical Far North, and Judy, they did lose their first game. I think you'd probably be aware of that. They lost their first game by 6 But once again, we say you win one, lose one, you're still not completely out of the equation, are you? Okay, now we'll just get back to this, what we can see.
There's room, but they've got to draw 2 shots for a draw.
Sure thing. Lurchy's got the shot, hasn't he, Jack High?
I guess so.
He might actually have 2. Here comes...
Jay.
Yep, Jay with his first bowl.
The crowd isn't going
No, they remain seated here and there's no hats being removed. So, Trish Spice has joined the program. Good on you, Trish. Looking forward to meeting you.
Spice Girl.
Yeah, on Wednesday for the ladies singles.
That's Mum Spice.
Yes, indeed it is. Now, Andrew's mildly interested in this, and Lurchy's given him the clap, so... Well, I should say the applause, shouldn't I?
They got a 5. Square the game up.
Oh, no, now this is Nanango and
Marlin
the
Coast.
Marlin Coast. They appear to be, we'll give you an update on that. They're just
Marlin
doing the
Coast
scoreboard
had come
now.
from behind to get 3 in front. Now they're 2 behind playing the
They've
last
come
game.
from bloody nowhere, haven't they?
They did a 5 and he missed it by a cigarette paper on a runner.
Okay, so the score, they're on 20 ends. We'll just double check to make, oh, hang on.
23-20.
Okay.
23-20.
23-20, so they're 3 behind.
I was told they picked up 2 over here.
Yeah, the boys at, who's in front?
Marlin Coast are back in front. They just got a 5.
Yeah, Marlin Coast are leading 23-20 against the Nango boys, and with 1 end to go.
The Marion blokes it is. They had a long, hard look at the head. They were 5 down and something to hit, and he hummed and hard about drawing it or running it, and he ran and missed by a cigarette paper.
Now, Andrew Howie's coming in with his second bowl here, as you can see on that other video that we've managed to, and he hasn't quite reached it, but he's probably in a counting position, and it appears to be...
This bloke has to trail the keys
down
the line.
He does.
6 inches for 3.
Yes, he does, and I'm backing it in that Lurchy's going to make sure he's behind with this one, because he needs to cover those 2 back bowls, doesn't he?
Well, they've got to get 2 to keep themselves alive in the section. You can't afford to let Lurch have a full win, let Lurch and Howie to have 2 wins plus 15 or whatever going into the last game.
Well, this is the last end.
Yes, they're 2 beyond.
Yep, and the Toowoomba boys have got a lot of local support. You could expect that.
Going to play 4-hand runner.
Well, he needs to get some piece of the jack, doesn't he?
Maybe he's only trying to trail it to those 2 bowls.
He's
But
going
it
underneath.
doesn't look much like a 4-hand runner shot.
Now, this will be, I'm prepared to suggest that this will be the true Lurch here. He's going to cover.
The true Lurch, which is the untrue Lurch.
This is the experience this man has got. And the reason why he's such and I'm not even looking at this because I'm tipping that I'm absolutely correct. And you couldn't want any better than splitting those 2.
I didn't think you Victorians and you Tasmanians got on too well together.
Well, Lurchy's the kind of bloke who's been around for so long. You just knew exactly what he had to play, and he knew it as well.
And he put it there.
He got to cover those back bowls. And now, that's just sort of... Now, it's even more important that he covers the back because he's just had his bowl shifted. Bearing in mind, ladies and gentlemen, that at this stage, Helen's Bowl appeared to be holding...
Plenty.
2, probably 3, and even a measure for 4.
That one's not behind Lurch.
No. All right. Well, I'll take all that back. No, I won't. He did the job for the first one.
Jay Singh's got an easy shot. He just draws up and moves the kitty back a foot.
Yeah, that's what he's got to do. But
4 shots. You can say it quick, and we can sit here and say it quick.
Oh, look, we could watch this all day long. I mean, it's...
Got a backhand draw shot, a foot skinny, and up to 2 foot, 3 foot heavy.
Okay, now Jai he's having a look to me as if he's...
No, that's his normal wind
Is
up.
that his normal, yeah, that's his normal go?
Yep.
Okay. Oh,
It's quicker than I thought.
Well, he seemed to be rusted a bit, didn't he?
He runs off the mat a bit on his
Does he?
delivery.
Oh, if he does that, then well, that's fair enough. Well, that's his normal go. But he's missed it. But they've got, see now the problem, as you've alluded to before, Timmy, and you're much a wiser man than me.
Huh.
Andrew, I feel quite convinced, will not play the backhand.
He'll play the forehand down that gully to get
Absolutely. And he'll leave that bowl because that bowl is more of bowl of lurches than the backhand, so that's more of a problem for the Jai.
That's what Lurch was playing too, only he didn't play enough weight.
Well, there you go. I'm happy with that. So Andrew's now
with
playing...
his second bowl, he was trying to get to where you're talking.
Yeah, Andrew's playing the shot that we all thought he would. He's on the forehand, and he'd be looking to make sure that he passes the jack and gets in between his own 2 bowls if he can, passes the jack and sits in amongst those black bowls. Now, what do you say about that?
You're a lucky guess.
That is exactly the shot he had to play. And he got up there and played. That's what champions can do. That's what champions can do.
Robbie, can you turn the volume down on his mic?
Turn it off. I'm out of here. I'm going out for a smoke.
You sit in your seat. This might be killed and we play another end yet.
Play another end. I can't stand it. I need to have a glass of water.
You're desperate for a gasper.
Well, that too. But that was probably... that was a marvellous shot because, you know, the bottom line is that the Helens Bowl at this stage look as though they could be holding 6.
Doesn't matter how many they're holding.
It matters nothing.
He's having a
it's where the bowls are positioned.
He's having a bit of a think about what's going to happen. I've lost track of what's happening in the Marlin Coast versus Marion game because of this.
Got 1 shot.
Marion have got 1 shot and they need 3. And Skip's got 2 more bowls to play. I suggest he better draw 2 more.
Now, he's having a good look at this. He doesn't know what to do. Well, he knows what to do.
Let's say that he normally doesn't make his mind up very quickly.
Doesn't he? Yeah.
But the one thing in this end is that there's another bowl sitting up there behind the mat that belongs to Howie.
Yeah, that's right.
So whatever happens here, Helensvale have got the opportunity to fix it with the last bowl anyway.
That's right.
I think he's going to try and kill it.
Well, he can't. I don't know. He certainly got killed weight, didn't he?
Well, he's not short.
No, I think he's too wide, isn't he? Oh, no.
Had to go another 2 foot.
Yeah, well, they've got 1.
Had to go another 2 foot.
I think Jai's end up with 1. They'll be shaking hands.
He has ended up with 1.
Well, maybe they're not allowed to shake hands.
They won the difference. They won the difference. 1 bowl to play.
Well, Jai hasn't got any more, has he?
No. The only way they can win the game is with the 1.
As if the only way.
That's when they say, "Where's the danger?"
Well,
it's in your hand.
They're 1 down. That Jai and the boys have got the Toowoomba guys have got 1 shot. So if I was Andrew Howie, I'd be playing the wrong bias here deliberately.
I would think that.
Hey?
Lurch has kicked him in before he could think about it.
Well,
that's when Lurch said, "Where's the danger?" There's
yeah,
only
you
one
the
danger.
ball in your hand.
That's it. Difference of 1. Pretty handy little game. That.
Yeah, very, very good. Well, that's what it's all about, ladies and gentlemen. That's why we come back time and time again to
We're
watch
over
it.
to the other crunch game now. We
Okay.
swing across here.
We're moving across. We've got more action coming your way, folks.
By the time I get the cameras there, it's too late.
He's got to draw this.
Okay, we're swinging the camera around.
No,
but we're going to make it on time.
We're just about to tell you what happens. There's a gap there. And he went through it.
Clipped the gap.
Marlin Coast have won by 1 shot or possibly 2 shots.
Okay.
Another very close battle. Thanks, boys, for the afternoon.
Now, what about the ladies' results? We don't want to hang around?
Oh, I think you'll be able to do the ladies' results.
Website later, or we can do it in the morning.
Okay.
We're winding up here.
We're just winding up here, folks, and if you wish to know the ladies' the final results, you can get them on the website. And a very good afternoon. Thank you, Robbie Allen. Thank you, Jimmy C, for your
Alex
input.
Murtaugh's comment says, I've already muted his. I've never heard so much dribble in my life.
Well, there you go. Thanks very much, Alex. You're a wonderful friend. And we'll see you all tomorrow.